This is the URT. You are the URT. Smash a like for the URT. Subscribe to the URT. Big up the URT. This is the URT. We are the URT people. Welcome to the URT. Love, 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 people. Love. We're going to go a bit of deep dive tonight on Nanglesman. We're going to be talking about Tchouameni and why that deal's not happening. Kobbie signs his long-awaited deal. Kobbie, new deal, people. So got all of that and more, people. So big up to all you lot. Please smash the like, subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. We're here, we're live. Big up to Saeed for the raid. Appreciate Saeed for the raid. Nanglesman deep dive, even though apparently reports are saying that the deal is off with Nanglesman. The deal is off with Nanglesman, but Nanglesman deep dive is about, people. The deep dive massive is about. Big up to all you lot. Please smash the like if you're not already smashed, and subscribe to the channel. Let's have a look at the result tonight. Let's have a look at Let's Be having you, Brighton, Chelsea. Our Chelsea in the mix last time. Wow. Ooh, Brighton beat them. Rasps. Rosinia Isakie. Wow, Welbeck 91 plus. Damn. Chelsea are in a downfall. Chelsea are going off a cliff. Boy, they went from Ibrahimovic literally cheating, giving agents, like, we're talking about £1 million here and there to make sure that they sign players like Hazard, to them competing to be one of the most successful English teams in the last, 25 years, 30 years. And now, in a free-for-all, they got bought by a hedge fund. Vulture Capital has bought them. And now they are in a free-fall. And do you know what? You know their losses? Nobody even knows how much they're losing, because the way they've done the financial instruments in the people who are in charge of Chelsea, not Blue Coat. There's another big vulture capitalist above Blue Coat that have bought Chelsea. They can hide the losses. It's unbelievable. People think that they've lost almost nearly up to £1 billion in debt. It's crazy, people, what is happening. It's absolutely crazy what's happening to Chelsea. And AC Milan fan here, you're boring now. You've got your fan channel too. There's not. And AC Milan, boring now. Go to your own fan channel. What does this mean? I don't know, man. Listen, solidarity with the Chelsea fans. We know how it feels. We've had these vultures destroy our football club for a long, long time. We totally understand what's going on. Big up Fury, man. Big up everybody. But we totally know and understand what is going on in terms of the club being mismanaged from the top. So I absolutely feel, I feel the pain of Chelsea, and I mean that. I genuinely mean that. And I'm not just saying that. That's genuinely, from the bottom of my heart, I know the feeling of what it is to have vultures destroy your football club. And my heart goes out to Chelsea fans. Genuinely goes out to Chelsea fans. Yeah, subscribe, people. We're 120 something away from 15K. We deserve it. We shout for the people. We shout for the dignity and the rights and the human rights of people all around the world. So the least you could do is please like the video and subscribe to the channel. And also, those of you watching this later, please make sure you hype the video. Big up Eski. Man like Eski, you know.
That's it. Champions League, you know. It's hard to believe. It's not. Yeah, Chelsea lost, so we got Champions League. It's over, man. It's over. I don't care. Carrick out is come here. We're here, bro. We want to hear. We want to hear your propaganda. We want to hear it. We want to hear it. People start Sesko in games. No, we don't start Sesko in games. Yeah, vindicated. Yeah, Scott McTominay, Ballon d'Or, vindicated for Boumbaye and myself. This is it now, lads. Everyone can enjoy themselves. The last 5 games, we can play the kids. We can just sit back, relax. Champions League's it's wrapped up, man. That's it. Don't get too complacent. We've got a big game against Liverpool to play. After that, I mean, look, just play whatever, man. Start Shea Lacey, start these kids and that, and fucking just give him a go. Cheeto, I think Cheeto deserves a good run out. I know JJ Gabriel is not eligible to play, I don't think. But, you know, like, why not, man? Just give these kids 15, 10 minutes. Actually, he should be eligible to play because Max Dowman played, and he's like 15. So JJ Gabriel should be able to get a couple of minutes here and there, maybe at home for like 10 minutes just in front of the home crowd. So, yeah, like I said, man, look, we've done our bit, battered Chelsea. We can only beat what's in front of us, and they're shit. So, like I said, man, people celebrate. We've got Champions League. It's, you know, I'm not saying that's it. Well, we've made it, and, you know, it's a low bar, but we've got Champions League. Our objective has been met from this season. Has it not, Nuruddin? The objective was to try and get back into the top 4, top 5, whatever it was. We are comfortably in. We're mathematically, it's done now. It's confirmed. Man United have got Champions League football. Chat, you have to lap it up, man. Laugh at Chelsea, laugh at Arsenal. They're fucking crumbling. Tottenham are going down. Big 6 and Man United, for how shit we are the only side to not lose back-to-back games this season. Yeah, all right, we can't win 5 in a row. And under Amram, we couldn't win 2 games in a row. But look, we've not lost back-to-back games all season. This team has been half decent. You have to look at it in totality. Yeah, the football's been whatever in some games. Chelsea been shite, whatever. But like I said, Nuruddin, man, like I think just relax a little bit and say this season wasn't as bad as some of us anticipated it could have been. I think it's been okay. Now it's a big summer. Now we can start looking at transfers. So as soon as you wrap up Champions League, you can start looking at transfers because the money's coming in. You know the money's coming in. Start looking at replacements and stuff now. Because if it comes down to the wire last day of the season, then you're delaying more time to start talking to other potential transfers that you want to buy because other clubs are going in for them because they know they've got Champions League. That money's coming in. We can start talking now. Liverpool and stuff, they don't know if they're in it. They can't negotiate with players right now. Man United can. So, like I said, man, big summer coming ahead.
Yeah, that's fascinating that you think that. I still think mathematically United can still be popped out.
No, it's done. It's confirmed. It's done. It's done. I'm telling you, because they were the only team that could have stopped us. And if they lost today, they can't catch us. If Man United won 2 out of their last 5 games, we would have got through as well. But Chelsea losing today also means it's done. If Chelsea won every game and we won 2 out of 5, it was done. So from this point, it's done. I'm telling you, Nuruddin, it's mathematically, it's done. I'm telling you. It's a fact. You can Google it, actually. It's a fact. I think it's done. People. Like I'm saying, yeah, it is done. You can fact check it. Ask Google or Jarvis and that comes on. I'm telling you, it's a fact. It's done. It's done, people. Champions League, we made it, man. Big up the chat. Need to get a proper manager. Do you know what it is, guys? You're talking about getting a proper gaffer. You can't prove to me that another gaffer will come in and win anything. You just can't. Because I'm telling you, these are the same people that wanted Ten Hag in and wanted Amber in, and then you wanted him out of the same breath. So I can't take credence into what I hear online a lot of the times where it's like, oh, we need this, that, and the third. Because if 2-3 years down the line, you want that person out. So were you ever right to listen to in the first place? I don't believe so. Like I said, Saeed TV is culpable of it sometimes. Big up Saeed. But, you know, he'll say anyone but Ten Hag, and then we're fucking in the relegation zone. And he wants to sell Kobbie Mainoo, which, by the way, I don't know if you heard, Nuruddin, he's verbally agreed a £150 grand a year, a week contract for 5 years. I don't know if you've heard that in the grapevine. You're mute, bro. You're mute.
Big up for the people for the raids, man. I don't know who's raided us, but big up for the people for this. Probably rants. Big up, people. Big up for the people who raided us, man. Big up for the people who raided us. There we go. We've got a bit of a full show. We've got a couple of people jumping on. Big up to Tactical Devils. So we need 4 more points to be mathematically clear. Yeah, we need 4 more points. But yeah, big up Saeed for the raid. Big up Rance for the raid. Matisse for the raid. Big up Matisse for the raid. Appreciate Matisse. My solidarity and love to the people of Chelsea fans, man. They're owned by some vultures. Absolute vultures who are absolutely destroying their football club. And at this point, it looks personal, man, what they're doing to them. Somebody asked me the question before. Can Rosinia manage in the Premier League? I think he can. But can he manage at Chelsea with all the different things that's going around in the background? No, he can't. He certainly cannot. People, subscribe to the channel. We're 120 away from 15K. If 100 of you to subscribe, 120 of you subscribe to the channel, we have reached 15K, and it's been a long struggle because we refuse to be silenced for what's going on in the world in terms of the Western Asia. I hate using the word Middle East. We shout about the Sudanese genocide. What's happening to the Lebanese people? What's happened to the Palestinians? What's happening in Palestine? What's happening in the Congo? We use our voice to talk about those things because somebody here, I survived civil war as a kid, and I refuse to be silenced. I refuse never to be talking about those things and what's happening to those people because I was once those people. So I refuse to be silenced in those. So the least you could do, people, is subscribe to the channel and welcome to the channel. But my heart solidarity is with the people of Chelsea, man. They've lost 5 games in a row. I don't think they've ever in their history have lost 5 games in a row. 5 games in a row they've lost. 5. I repeat, 5 games in the Premier League they've lost. And that is crazy. That is crazy. Manchester United need 4 more points. So Chelsea have lost to Newcastle 1-0, Everton 3-0 away. They've lost to Man City 3-0 at home. They lost 1-0 to Manchester United at home and 3-0 to Brighton tonight. And that is crazy. 5 consecutive games without scoring a goal as well. That is a record level. And my heart is with the Chelsea fans. They've got a protest, but the government still let them vultures take over the club. Honestly, it's unbelievable what they've done. And Chelsea, under Ibrahimovic, were literally bribing people so they could get the best players. They could sign the best players. So it's crazy what's happening. It's absolutely crazy what's happened to Chelsea. Pick up Luani. I hope you're well, Luani. We're going to go deep dive. We're going to go deep dive on Nanglesman. We're going to look at his strengths and weaknesses as a coach, because so many people have been messaging me on Instagram and on X asking me, Nuruddin, why you're not talking about Nanglesman? Why do you need to? And even though I don't think he should be for Manchester United, but I'm putting what I think. I'll tell you my opinion, and I've already told you. But we're going to objectively look at him, and we can all decide and have a little debate about it. But yeah, big up to everybody. Welcome to the channel. But that Rosinia now, the pressure on Rosinia, I can never bloody pronounce his name. Rosinia, it's unimaginable. It's unimaginable the level of pressure that he's on right now. But I think, yeah, there was a reason why Maresca walked away. There was a reason why Maresca walked away. There was a reason why Maresca, who won them the World Club Championship, walked away. It's because of too much interfering. It's like they've got about 4 or 5 directors of football. What does that tell you? What does that tell you? Just so, bit of news from today. So Manchester United are monitoring Southampton midfielder Shea Childs. There was a scout watching him play against Blackburn. There are reports that Eddie Howe, I do like Eddie Howe. I'm not going to lie to you. I do like Eddie Howe as a coach. So Eddie Howe, despite saying he wants to stay in Newcastle, yeah, I've always said that. Tchouameni, what we're going to come to, I'm going to talk about that in a minute. But yeah, I'll bring you to the Nanglesman news. This is what's been put out. So Man UFC interest in Julian Nanglesman is not as strong as been suggested. So that's the news that what we're getting. But yeah, Manchester United apparently need 4 more points to secure top flight in terms of Champions League. People, smash the likes on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. Let's get to 300 likes on the video, man. And please subscribe to the channel. Like I said, we're so short of 15K. So the least you could do is subscribe to the channel and help the channel out. That's been shadow banned. Wow. We are now 109 subscribers away from 15K. So if 109 of you subscribe, we can get to 15K tonight. So please help us out if you can. Big up, Luani. How are you? How are you doing?
I'm good. Car's at the shop, so I have a day off today. So I'm good. Thank you.
Is it a routine check? Big up, Jarvis. Love, no problem.
Radiator went again, so they're
Ah,
trying to send it back to the manufacturer. Hopefully, it's covered by warranty, and then they put in a new one on. I can get it back tomorrow.
okay, cool,
Yeah.
cool. Talk
You
to
want
me,
to?
man.
You want me to elaborate a little bit about the what I think about the Chelsea situation?
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think it's
you can tell me. Yeah, you go on.
I think it's deplorable. This is typically an example of when you have like people you call them vulture take over a club. At least Abramovich, we can say everything we want about him, but he takes pride in winning. So when you go from a club of men under Abramovich and you come now, you essentially have a club of boys. These guys, these kids, I think this is an issue with the new model with these new owners. They think essentially that football is a for profit thing, which it is, but you have to go you have to go about it in the right way. They think that you can just put a whole bunch of young players, like farm them and then turn them over for profit. Unfortunately, when you work at a club that do not have the spotlight, like these young players can work hard and develop into what they're supposed to be, into their full potential. But when you subject these young players to London and the glitter, the glimmer, the spotlight, then it turned into something completely different. And I think that's what it is right now. It's a disaster. You have a whole lot of young players that think they're celebrity in their own right. They don't want to work hard, and then even in some situation, players that are proven like Cancedo, for example. This is an example where you take a good player, you put him in a bad mix, and literally he's getting swallowed up. It's sad. Hopefully, the fan managed to kick out this ownership. It's damaging the club. Chelsea is a club of champions. Now they just a shell of themselves.
Definitely, Luwani. Definitely.
Mm.
They look like they are. And my hat goes to the fans. It's always the fans who suffer for me. And I can. Somebody who hates. I'm not a hateful person, but I despise, and with every ounce of bone in my body, every cell in my body, I absolutely hate Glazers and what Ineos have done to the football club. So I understand what's being done to their football club. Go ahead.
No, I see it different. I don't have any sympathy for Chelsea fans. Only because, look, what they had with Abramovich, they were just the worst Man City. They had a guy come in, dodgy as anything, and then we know everything that's gone on after. Even this recent sanction is because of what he did under his reign. So under them, they were cheating back then. They've had so many fucking, suspensions and transfer bans and whatever's going on. I just don't rate it at all. They became a big team because of oil money and influence. Like Man City, that's why we don't rate them, innit? Yeah, teams in this country we rate Arsenal, Liverpool, fierce rivals. Other teams, Villa, Newcastle. But those two teams there, they've done it the wrong way. Now I sympathise with the whole Glazer thing, them coming over and making it a corporate little monopoly there. That I don't agree with, but. We didn't deserve that. No, we did not do anything in our history to deserve what happened to us. Them lot, you could look at it and say it's a karma a little bit there. Because what you've done in the past, you fucking basically shagged the league. You bought everyone, like you said, there were bribes and stuff going on to try and get players over the line. Most amount of money going on. So no, I don't have that much sympathy with the Chelsea fans.
I do because they didn't do it. They didn't do it.
Of course, they didn't do it. Of course,
sympathy with them. I have all the sympathy.
Me personally, I don't. Like I said, it's because let's say what happens to City now. Are you gonna have sympathy for City if they lose 60 points and they're back in the doldrums? No.
No, the City fans, the born again City fans, I have absolutely no.
Okay, the born again, yeah. All right, okay.
But the original City fans, yeah, because they didn't want people to come.
But the original Chelsea fans are only from 20 years ago. Though. The original Chelsea fans are only from 04. I mean, so the new Chelsea fans are from 04. You rarely ever meet Chelsea fans from before then. It's all modern. It's all built off what's now.
I know.
Fair enough. I don't personally, so it could be a bias thing.
I know some.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I know some. So for me, I'm always like. Fans are like the way that we've been is because of the Glazers, not because of the fans choosing. They didn't choose it. But at the end of the day, we live in a corrupt world. But at least Ibrahimovic was trying to win. He wanted to win so badly. He was willing to.
Yeah, he did.
You know what I mean? But these lot now, They're literally hiding. There is no way of knowing how much losses Chelsea have because the way they've structured it, they literally, from the New York Stock Exchange, there's some mad vulture capitalist, what they called. It's going to come to me, the word. But they literally look for opportunities to make money. And it's not Blue Coat that owns them. It's another branch, then somebody else above Blue Coat that owns them that's hiding stuff. So, yeah, man, we start for the people of Congo and Sudan and Palestine and everybody. And that's why YouTube and Google have shadow banned us. So the least you can do is support the channel and Lebanon and Palestine. We will never stop talking about them. But anyway, people, I wanted to just have the little debate with you tonight. And I want to take you to actually a little quote. Let me get this back up again. Because there is this what's been said. Let me go back here. This is about Manchester United's next coach or next manager. So this is what Chris Wheeler's reporting tonight. Manchester United have conducted background checks on several head coach candidates, but barring a late season collapse, it would be a surprise if they do not give the job to Michael Carrick. While other options remain, there is a belief at Old Trafford that not keeping Carrick will be a major gamble after his strong case to stay. I find that worrying, and I think that's not good for him, me personally, because I think people should be interviewed. And then if he is the most impressive person with what he's done, then should be given a job. What do you think, Eski? What do you think, Luwani, before we get into Nanglesman?
Well, based off what I've read, it seems like the app interview people. Background checks usually does entail getting to know a little bit about the person. So they might have spoke to agents and just, let's say they've gone to Nagelsmann's agent and just said, would your client be interested, post the World Cup or whatever? You might say yes or no, learn a bit about him, speak to people in the game that know football. For me, Michael Carrick is conducting his interview week in, week out with the games. You know, we're looking at it, we're assessing his interview. It's a public interview. Michael Carrick is a manager doing a public interview because he's an interim for the job. He's a front runner for the job, and he's showing us what he could do. Could he get the team going? I know it's all different, and you know, I think he makes the analogy of the substitute teacher vibes. But Helgi, wherever he is, but yeah, big up Helgi. But like I'm saying, for me, we can see what he can do with a team that isn't that strong. Doesn't have to work like on fucking buying players or whatever because he didn't give him nothing in January. So based on that, he's been able to come up with this. For me, like I said, I've always said, get him on a short-term deal, 2 years. Maybe speak to Enrique and say, listen, in 1-2 years' time, we want you to come and take over. Are you okay waiting? Now, he could turn around and say, no, I don't want that. It's either now or never. Fair enough. He could turn around and say, yeah, we have a pre-agreement. Nothing set in stone, just a gentleman's agreement, right? And then 1 year down the line, someone else comes in for him. Then he'll turn around and say, look, United, I've got this offer from over here. I want to go over there. We can make a decision then. So we don't need to make a decision on getting a top manager now is what I'm saying. I'm not claiming Michael Carrick's a top manager. It's about getting the right manager. And for me, stick with Michael Carrick for at least 1 more year to see if we can better the team. Great. If not, then we're not going to stick with him forever for sentimental values like Ollie or whatever else. We'll just say, thank you very much for doing what you can. See you later. That's fine. So I've always said, try and keep him for 2 years, improve the team year on year, and get Enrique in. For me, Nagelsmann, I don't know. But the point is, everyone's going to come on here and say, get this guy, get that guy, get Areola, get, you know, whatever hits the manager you want to name. But when it goes wrong, then same people won't come on here and say, I wanted this manager and I got it wrong. There's no, them same people that wanted Amorim. I've never heard anyone say my bad. I've never heard anyone say my bad about Ten Hag after he won 2 trophies. And in hindsight, looks like a much better manager. Maybe should have just kept him. So like I'm saying, anyone that people want who's a hipster, if you want them to come in, no problem. If it goes south, which I hope it doesn't, I don't want these bad things to happen. If it goes wrong, please be here and say my bad. And sorry, apologies, give details, everything. I want to know who you are because your football opinion sucks. But that's what I think anyway. So I'd just keep Carrick, see where we're going. In a couple of years' time, get a top manager in because this team's not ready for a top manager right now. It doesn't make sense. Let's say Pep Guardiola was available right now. Pep Guardiola couldn't come into our team because it's not ready for a top manager to take us where we need to go. Look at Arsenal's team. Arsenal's team are primed to go and win something. Right? We can look at it and laugh and say Mikel Arteta may not be the guy. But that team is primed to go and dominate. Look at the team, look at the squad in depth. They've got everything there. Playing style of play is down to the manager. So like I said, for me, we can look at it. We can look at our team, look at Arsenal's team and say, we're not quite there yet. Once our team starts to look like the Arsenal team, then you get a top manager in. And that's what Arsenal should have done maybe 1 or 2 years ago when they realised Arteta might not have been the guy. Because he would have gone down as a legend. You turned that club's face around and it became a serious football team. So I think that's what we need to do under Michael Carrick. Try and make us a serious football team in the next 2 years, and then say goodbye. Don't hang on to sentimental value. Big up, Jarvis. Hope you're good, mate.
Big up,
Jarvis.
bestie.
Big up, Jarvis.
Thanks.
Go ahead, Luani, and then we'll go to Jarvis. Jarvis, this is what we're hearing today. That Manchester United, I don't know if you could see that. Just read it again for the people. Manchester United have conducted background checks of several head coach candidates, but barring a late season collapse, it would be a surprise if they not give the job to Michael Carrick, which that's what's been briefed from the football club for a while. So we already, suspected this. It's nothing new. It's not breaking news to this channel because I've been warning about this BS for a long, long time. But go ahead, Luani, and then we'll go to you. Go ahead, Luani. People, please smash the like and subscribe to the channel. We are, let me just tell you, in terms of subscribers, pick up Matisse, Rant, Saeed. We are 3 short of 14. 10K basically. Well, 10K. So we are short. So we are 103 away from 15K people. So the least you could do is please
subscribe, guys. Subscribe.
Yeah, 14.9.
So,
we are 3 subscribers away from being 14.9. Go ahead, Luani.
Yeah. So when it comes to Carrick and the managerial thing of giving him the job for full time or not, I mean, there is a psychological bond that's being established between him and the group of players that he has right now. And if he managed to clinch that Champions League spot, I suspect that bond will just go stronger. So it's something that we can capitalize on going in next year, and see what Carrick is made of before that bond wears off. If we decide to go into another direction and hire another manager, unless he's a top manager, I'm afraid this group, I'm not too sure how this group of players is going to respond to it. Yeah, I might be accused of being a flip-flop a little bit, because last week I was saying that I don't think he should get the job on a permanent basis based on the way we're performing. But unfortunately, with this board that we have, I'm not too sure. I don't trust them to bring in the right person, and if they do, I don't trust them to back him the way they're supposed to back him. My first choice would have been Iraola, but unfortunately, I think he's going back to Spain. But if you bring in a manager like Iraola, for example, which I think he's not a hipster, he's a proper manager. The issue there is I don't think this board will back him. I don't think this board will be able to, for example, if he doesn't gel well with this group of players that we have, I don't think they'll be able to break the team apart. Some of these players, we brought them less than 2 years ago, and some of them as soon as last year, and a main fixture, they are starters. I will name, for example, Cunha, I'll name Mbomo, I'll name Martinez, Delay. Those are literally our senior figure. And I don't know how much they will respond if they name a new coach, but I do know that they are responding very well to Michael Carrick. So it's less of a gamble to keep Carrick, give him maybe a 1-year trial, like Alan Shearer said last week. Give him a 1-year trial. And he's conducting his interview in real time, and we've seen a level of success. For me, it's just the bonding. I think he have a bit bonding going on with the players. They have something good going on. They're playing for him, even though tactically we didn't see much. We just need to stick with him and see if that's under the condition that he makes top 4, and then make our decision next year. Because with this crop of players, we can improve them, and then hopefully the performance also improve if we give Carrick more time. So I'll stick with him.
Jarvis?
Yeah, big up. I think you made a good point there, Luani. And by the way, big up, guys. And
big up.
A lot of people tune in already. So, guys, remember to smash the like. It's important. It helps out with the algorithm. So, everybody, take a time, smash that like, that thumbs up. When it comes to Luani's point, I don't know where we are going from here. We're only 4 points off being mathematically secured the next year's Champions League. we are 8 points clear of Brighton right now, and they have 4 games left, so they can play for 12 points if they win all of them. So again, we only need 4 points to nullify Brighton's small mathematically chances to qualify for next year's Champions League. So again, I think it's almost clear in a way. But where are we going from here? Coming into the Champions League, we're not Arsenal. We are not just happy with qualifying for the Champions League. We have ambitions in this club. We are Man United, and we are supposed to fight for titles, fight for cups, fight for trophies. And I think we need to act clear and swiftly this summer. We need to sign the best players available. We need to spend money. We need to be aggressive in the market. And also when it comes to Carrick, if he stays, I wouldn't be happy if he just keeps his Noradin, do you play something on your phone or?
Oh shit, yeah, sorry.
Yeah. Just be careful. You don't want to get monetized for copyrighted for music. I just wanted to say I hope that Carrick gets the proper backing, because now he has a staff of 3 other guys. We have what's his name? Wilcox. No, it's not Wilcox. The other guy. And
Brother.
No. His coaching staff.
His coaching staff. Oh, it's oh my God, from Steve Holland. Steve Holland.
Woodgate, Steve Holland, and Johnny Evans. And going into Champions League next season, playing 2 games a week, that's not good enough. So what we need now is for Ineos and Sir Jim and Berada and Potato Head and the Glazers, all of them, to understand, if we are keeping Carrick, there's on one premises and one premises only. We need to bring in proper guys in his coaching staff, people with experience who have been through Champions League, playing through 2 games a week, know how to handle the squad, change, rotate players. It's not just up to Carrick, because this is what we have done wrong all the time since Alex Ferguson's left. We believe that one guy can come in and rule them all. It's not how modern day football is. We need other guys who will come in, not just Steve Holland with his medieval defensive tactics from England the last 12 years. We need proper coaches with good influences that can come in and help Carrick through this next year, because next year will be something different. We will play most likely up to 25 games more than we have done this season. And that will be tough. That will be really tough on these players. And we will lose a lot of experience when it comes to Casemiro. I was laughing at Chelsea tonight, watching Chelsea. And they are, I don't know if you know about the book that's called Lord of the Flies. I know it's a little bit intellectual, but again, it's Lord of the Flies. It's about a group of boys, young boys, stranded on a desert island. And everything goes well the first couple of days, but then everything goes into mayhem because they have no leaders. They have no one who can guide them and help them. So Chelsea basically now is the Lord of the Flies, and this is because they have no leadership in the club, nothing. And look at other clubs. Look at Brighton. They have Pascal Gross. They have James Milner. They have Welbeck. Pretty experienced guys, late in their 30s, guiding them through this. Look at the Granit Xhaka at Sunderland. Look at how well they have done this season. Enzo Lefebvre, other guys, young guys doing really well under the leadership and the organizing of Granit Xhaka. Look at Brentford. Look how Jordan Henderson is guiding them, helping them to organize the midfield, the defense, all the time, shouting, because it's so effing underrated with these older guys. We as fans, we only want the young talents, the 19 years old, the 20 years old, but we don't understand the dynamic in the modern day football. And then also look at our own team, Casemiro, how he helps out and organize the team. It's not just him on the ball, but it's him being calm in difficult situation, dragging us over the line. So again, we need to be firm, Ineos can't go down the path of this Chelsea model, signing only young players. That will be the death of us. That will be the death of Man United. We can't do this. We need experienced players to come in and help the young guys. We can't just sign 16 years olds, 19-year-olds, 20 years olds. We need some proper experience. So that's just my take.
Yeah.
So I don't know, Nordin, what's your take on this?
Yeah, I think this is going to be a mistake. I hope it's not. I hope that I'm going to be wrong. And I genuinely hope that this is not part 2 of the same play that we've already seen when it came to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. And it's not like Carrick was not part of it. Carrick was part of that failure. Carrick was part of that failure. He was one of the main head coaches on the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. And actually, Solskjaer didn't do much coaching. He left it up to Kieran McKenna and Michael Carrick to do the coaching. I think what Carrick's done is remarkable. I have to be objective on that one. But there was only 2 games for me where I saw things that I've not seen. And that was the first game, the derby, where I was there, and where I watched on TV when we played against Arsenal. I think every other game has been suspect. I think he's won more games, and that's why I ask about the sustainability. And I wish Carrick showed me was more convincing of me personally. I wish that I could see more from him, more of the things that I saw against Chelsea, against City and Arsenal in majority of the games that he has played. But I have not seen that. I'm not going to lie. I think after the Arsenal, City and Arsenal game, the other game where I thought we played really, really well, I'm finding it really difficult to really remember one game where from minute 1 to the last minute, we had control or we were part of the game. Do you know what I mean? Like superly, like dictating the way things go in the game. I think Fulham took us apart in the second half, and I think we were lucky to win that game. I think luck, and somebody could say to me, if my uncle was my auntie, you know what I mean?
Too harsh.
These things. But
Too harsh.
No, let me finish this. I didn't disturb you, bro. I let you say everything. So let me just get my points in order, and then you can come back and rebuttal. I have not seen anything from Steve Holland. I think I have seen. I think I gave him 4 different categories. What the DNA is, and DNA is front foot attacking football, improvement of the players. The gradual improvement of players in terms of their performance. And yes, he ticked that. I've done a show. You can watch it on the channel. I broke it down, the categories which I just been in. One of the biggest thing for me, bugbears, is that we've not had a coach in how many years at Manchester United that can read the game. That is been. I mean, Jose used to do it, but his football was shit. Like I said, I lost my hair because of Jose football. That's why I was talking about Eddie Howe, and now we've been linked with Eddie Howe, which is really interesting. But 2018, I was shocked because Jose Mourinho football is anti-Manchester United football. Jose Mourinho should never have been hired for Manchester United. Never. It's like oil and water. If you have a big bucket of water and a big bucket of oil, it's not going to mix well. So I have not seen anybody that tactically, literally reacts to the game. If we're getting battered on one side in the shape of the team, if 2 teams are overloaded as midfield, can he make changes? His in-game management is dog shite. His substitutions are dog shite. And I'm not expecting. And then everybody, I knew Carrick was most likely they were going to give it to Carrick. When I started seeing quotes from people telling me about Steve Holland being some amazing coach, I'm like, are you effing serious? We watched England. We live in England. Me and Eski live in England. We watch England games. We saw how horrendous England were, other than beating the teams that they should have beat because of the players they have. But tactically, anytime they come up against anybody with anything, England get dismantled tactically. So this idea, Steve Holland is some sort of... And look, how long ago did Gareth Southgate been out of the job? Steve Holland was sat on his couch. And then Manchester United plugged him out, and all of a sudden, the PR and the marketing is telling me that he's some sort of tactical coach. Yet Carrick is chatting to him, and then I see the same thing Woodgate chatting to him, where England needed changes in the game, where they needed to get in there quickly. So at the end of the day, every way I think about it, I just see it for what it is. My doubts are there and clear. I have not seen anything. Yes, you can come back at me and aspects of it is valid. You could say, well, this is the squad. But then most of you were all shitting on, you weren't giving the benefit of the doubt that you're giving Michael Carrick to, what's his name? To Amorim. Even though I didn't rate Amorim. I didn't rate Amorim.
No,
I never wanted anywhere close to Amorim. I did not. I made the video and actually talked about how we vacate the midfield. And I was like, this is a big risk. The video's there. The stream is there. To me, my record is clear on this. Carrick, for me, naivety at times, doesn't act quick enough, doesn't make substitutions quick enough. I don't care. It's about winning for the team. And apparently, what we got briefed is that the other day against Leeds, our fiercest rivals came to Old Trafford and bopped us for fucking 45 minutes, and it could have been 5-0. Embarrassing it was watching that. Apparently, he didn't make the substitutions. This is what is being briefed, by the way. You can go and find the quotes yourself. He didn't want to scapegoat some of the players. You could have taken off 10 of the outfield players. Any of them could have come off, right? So the idea is that, well, I don't want to, I don't want them. It will look bad for them. I don't give a fuck what it looks bad. I don't give a damn what it looks bad. I'm concerned about what the points and being embarrassed by one of our rivals. What are we doing here? So for me, these things, what I'm hearing is the no sentiment. And one thing I do know is these vultures will use the sentiment with certain players because of his legendary status, because he was a club legend and all of that BS. They will use that against the fan base when the shit hits the fan. And that is what I saw with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Nobody was objective enough. A lot of the fan base were not objective enough. I refuse to talk about Ole those days because I'm like, I could see the fans are struggling mentally. People like you, Jarvis, could not say any criticism of Ole because who he is, what he meant to us. That goal in 99, he has us all here, the greatest night in terms of achievement in Manchester United history. But then he
I don't think it's that simple, Nordin. I think actually Ole did well. He gave us the midfield factor back, and actually a lot of people, United fans, stood behind Ole because of this.
Wasn't a failure.
Let me just finish my points, and then you can take them apart. Let me just get the super chat. Big up, Adewale. We all watched horrible football last game. Just because we win the game doesn't mean you don't call BS. But that's what I'm saying to you, bro. They don't see the football like me and you see it. Carrick is not the guy, and we will see it next season. Horrible tactics, in-game management. This is worse than only football. Yeah, you can have that. The point what I'm going to make is that there were times Ole was basically protecting the Glazers. Every time he was asked, are you backed? He was protecting the Glazers, going on with the same bullshit line. And then he was giving a Scott McTominay and Fred in midfield. I am fucking sorry. I'm not having that. I am not having that. Regardless where the league was in context of that time, where it's the season that he did incredibly well, it's because of lockdown. There was nobody in the stadium. When they came back, everything fell apart. One thing I would like to thank Carrick, he realized that as a United player, we can't just have a counter-attacking football as tactic, as a game plan. We can't do that as a game plan throughout, especially when it came to the big teams. So he tried to play front foot football, and because the coaching is not being done, the player profiles didn't suit the new way of football they've only been used to from Jose to play counter-attacking football, because that's how we conditioned and drilled them, that they couldn't play the other way football. And then the players lost faith in him, and it all crumbled. And I don't want to go through that again. I don't think you understand. I want to be able to remove myself from emotionally and the sentiment aspect of it and go just objectively look at what I see on the pitch and be able to call it as I see it without fans going, oh, you hating on him, like people are already. There's already sentiment started because we started winning games. And I give credit again to to Carrick for winning those games. For me, the way I see football, it matters to me how we win, how we lose, how we draw. It's not just that, and I could never accept like an Arsenal team now in the last 5 months winning the league. I could never as a United fan, because it goes against everything the DNA of Manchester United is. That doesn't mean that for 5 or 7 or 8 games, Manchester United can't do a shithousery and 1-0 it to get the objective done if they play some good football in the rest of like 30 games. Yes, I can understand that, because Fergie, it wasn't all champagne football every game. There were games where we struggled, but majority of the time, the objective of Manchester United was to go and attack. And even before fucking Fergie, because people want to come at me, that's what it was. Manchester United were an attacking team. I've watched the tapes. I've seen it. Even when we got relegated, Manchester United, attractive football, entertaining football, it's paramount and DNA to Manchester United. When people talk about what's the DNA of Manchester United, it's attacking from entertainment football. That's what it is. So these things matter to me. Do I think these vultures are going to back Carrick? No. Just like they threw Ollie to the Wolves, they're going to throw him to the Wolves. I'm done, and I'm here to hear all the rebuttals from all of you.
Nah, man. I just first of all, you're too harsh on Ollie. Like Travis was alluding to, he was actually all right. When you look at it in hindsight, he's been probably our most sustained period of challenging for the league post Fergie. No manager's had over like 2.5 years. I'll start the max cut off, but he finished third and then second, I'm pretty sure. So he did have us in good stead. I know people look at it and say, we didn't get over the line, this, that, and the third, but I just think there's too many inconsistencies with everything you said there. On one hand, it's I want to play good brand attacking football, this, that, and the third, but no one in the league is playing that kind of football, to be fair. But if you want to, talk about City and stuff,
say that last thing again.
No one in the league. No one in the league right now is playing top tier attacking attractive football week in, week out. It's just the fact they're not.
But Bournemouth do it. Brighton do it. Yes, they do. They play. Fulham do it. Fulham, Bournemouth, Brighton have struggled, and now actually they're playing better football. But there was a period in the season where they dipped, and now
the thing is
attacking football. Bournemouth have done it all season. Win, lose or draw. And Fulham have done it all season. Win, lose or draw.
Are they like 10th or something? The point that I'm making is,
I don't care.
I know you don't care. I know you don't care. I know you don't care. I know you don't care.
To me, what matters to me.
I know you don't care.
Entertainment, attacking football, yes or no?
I know. Look, of course, I know you don't. No, Joe is Snowden. I have a friend, right, and he's colorblind, green and red. He can't see green and red, so he doesn't know what they are. People just see things differently. He's born that way. There's nothing he can do about it. He sees a traffic light. He knows to go in a traffic light. He knows the top light stop. The middle light's amber maybe, and the bottom one's go. He can't see red and green. Point being, he just knows, so he'll just see things a different way. And secondly, there's also false equivalence as well. I've got another friend who thinks rates of cancer spiked and skyrocketed because of microwaves when they become mass-produced. He looked at a statistic, made a false conclusion, and that's just in his head forever. There's nothing that anyone can say to change his mind. And it's a bit like people with football. Football fans have a tendency to say, my club's shit, X, Y, and Z. Other clubs are better, X, Y, and Z. The grass is always greener. Every fan does it. Arsenal fans will look at United and say, oh, look, they got this, that, and the third. Sesko. We'll look at it and say, Arsenal have got this defence, this, that, and the third. Football fans have a tendency to say, we're shit, everyone else is better than us, to pile on the pressure. This channel is known as a negativity channel for various reasons. There's not really much positive spins going on here. We're winning games consistently. We're going to qualify for Champions League. I don't want Michael Carrick because he doesn't play good football. It doesn't leave any of these videos. It doesn't leave any positive segues into going forward into the season. How do we progress? How do we whatever? Because like you just said here, another illogical fallacy you've just mentioned. No, you don't believe that this board would back Michael Carrick or any manager, right? So what is the point of debating any manager coming in? Because you don't believe the board will back anyone. If the board won't back anyone, this debate is just for fucking, I don't know, time's sake and trying to get more views.
Other coaches are willing to call them out, like Amarim did, and that's why they sacked Amarim. Not because
So let's do what you do. So let's do what you do.
He wanted a midfielder.
I agree.
And they said,
I agree.
We decide.
I agree.
And they got rid of him. Now,
I agree.
The point that I made that went way over your head. The point that I made went over your head was the fact that same thing with Ollie. Carrick will protect them like Ollie did, and that's why they will all take him to the table and they're done with it.
So So let's do what you're doing then. And new manager comes in and gets asked, "Are you backed?" And he tells the truth and says, "No, I wasn't backed." And then he's sacked next week. And then we have this conversation again about who the next Man United manager should be. If you want to have that route,
as long as they get exposed.
I know you don't care. So I'm trying to speak to people with logic. So I'm speaking to people, right. So I'm speaking to people that logically want Manchester United to win football games.
Amarin exposed them.
Great. Amarin's not here.
Is willing to expose them. I don't care.
But you know what? Amarin exposed the Glazers by no one gives a shit because they're still here and Ineos are still here. So thanks for exposing them, Amarin, top lad. And also he wanted to sell Kobbie. So if that's the guy you're hanging your hat on, then fair enough. Like I don't.
To me, I think Kobbie needs to go somewhere else to develop properly as a footballer. Anyway.
Yeah, I get Joe, some people again. That's just your truth. No, you can make videos of. I can make AI videos. It doesn't. I don't care.
And a lot of United fans, you're in Manchester. You're different, but Manchester United got a billion fan base. A lot of them don't rate Kobbie, and we've said that he missed out almost a year and a half, and he was sat there on a bench and wasn't being developed, and was missed out on a lot of development. And he should have left to go and develop somewhere else.
What's that got to do with him playing games now and getting a new contract and being in the team and part of the England setup? My problem is...
Listen, the point, what I'm telling you, is that you talked about them to try to... You're using it as a cheap shot. And I went ahead of that and said, Kobbie should go if he's not getting the opportunity and he's not getting the development at Manchester United.
Why did he not get the opportunities? Because the manager didn't play him. I'm saying the point that's gone over your head is that manager that decided to play him for whatever reason, the reason can be whatever. He did not want to play him and he wanted him sold. You rate that manager for calling out the Glazers.
No, I don't. Listen, to me,
you just said that.
Certain players with certain coaches, they don't fit together.
Was that the right decision? In hindsight, is that the right decision though for what he did to Kobbie? It's wrong. I know. Just call it out.
No, listen to me. I know Kobbie. What is Kobbie capable of, right? And I don't want to get stuck into this. I know what Kobbie's capable of. I know how talented Kobbie is. I've been watching him since he was 14 years old. So you don't need to tell me about Kobbie mainly. It's about the football club. I didn't want another young kid to be ruined by Manchester United because of the vultures that in charge. And if you can't understand that, then I can't help you.
No, you can't help me because, again, like I'm speaking with logic here. You would have said the same thing about Garnacho. Get out of here. You don't need this club. You're better than this. Go develop elsewhere. You've gone to Chelsea, done fuck all. So, again, a lot of these sentiments have been repeated before for young players to go out. That's just a fact. That's just a fact, but he's terrible. His mentality, but his attitude will get him nowhere.
Well, Manchester United put him on a pedestal like that and played him to death.
No, they didn't. No, they didn't. Did you listen?
Yes, right.
It's just it's not a fact. That's not a fact. All right. I'll tell you something then. So you've seen Kobbie from 14 years old, yeah? Nicky Butt and Paul Scholes last night. I don't know if you heard their comments, yeah? Nicky Butt said, I seen him when he was coming in and training and stuff, yeah? He thought he was the dog's bollocks back then before he made it to the first team. As soon as he made it to the first team, he thought he was the guy. But what's that got to do with the club? If this guy gets big-headed and thinks he's above everyone else and starts chatting shit after the Europa League game, yeah?
You missed the rest of the sentence, what they said. They said the club did not manage him properly. The club made him feel like that he was the dog's bollock. That is a fact, and it's convenient for your argument to use that. But go ahead. I'm gonna move now because you're just making wild suggestions.
It's not.
We will see. The thing with time is that with football.
Okay. Another thing with time. Another thing with time. Last week, you come out and said that we played terrible against Leeds and we should have got beat 5-0 in the first half. I agree. That was the worst I've seen us play in as long as I can remember. What did I say? I chalked it up to Rust.
You were missing the Newcastle game as well.
I said last week. I just said last week. I'm speaking about last week. We can speak about that if you want. If that's the reason why you don't want Michael Carrick, then God help us all. My problem is, last week we said Leeds battered us and this is unsustainable, blah, 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 and everyone threw the toys out the pram. I sat here calmly and said, guys, it's rust. If you do anything at the highest level, which I'm sure none of us do here, I play certain games at the highest level competitively, right?
Why didn't they set up good? Why didn't they set up
I don't care.
Training
I'm giving you an answer. I'm giving you an answer. I don't care. That's not up to Michael Carrick. It's not up to Michael Carrick. Point is, we spoke about this last time. It's not up to Michael Carrick. I said, if these players...
It's not up to Michael Carrick.
It's not up to I told you last week. The video's there. It's hilarious. It's hilarious. No, I'll finish on this. I'll finish on this, right? Because it's just, again, I'm getting 1v3'd here, but it's fine. There's logical people in the chat that will hear what I'm saying.
It's not up to Michael.
No.
It's not.
You know
It's
what?
not.
You know
It's
one
not. It's not.
victory
It's not.
actually.
It's not.
You know
It's not.
one
It's not.
victory.
It's not.
Actually,
I agree. Lonnie, I apologize, Lonnie. I do agree with that. I take that back. But what I'm trying to say is, I'll end on this. I'm saying last week I chalked it up to Russ. That's if the team play anything like that against Chelsea, I'll hear it and say we got absolutely boxed. Michael Carrick, I'm unsure. Right. If we lost and played better football, would you be asked?
No, like I said to you.
All right. Let's. I'll meet.
Okay.
I'm a different type of football fan. I said
you are hilarious. You are hilarious.
You already. The way we lose matters to me. The way we draw matters to me. The way we win matters to me. You can't accept that.
I would like to pronounce myself on this subject, right? I agree with my brother here. First of all, I'm not sure why we're comparing this season to Carrick to Ole, because by that would mean that Ole's season was a failure, which he was not. Looking at it in hindsight,
Luani, you know why? I fucking went to Old Trafford and watched Liverpool smash us 5-0. I saw that with my own eyes. So don't tell me.
That was at home, wasn't it? Was that
Ole? With my own eyes.
It was Ole. It was Ole Jarvis. It was Ole. No, it was Ole.
Fucking nil. We got taken apart by Liverpool team 5-0 at Old Trafford. It's never happened ever.
Okay.
In 1914 or whatever time it happened. Stop the cap, man. You make it out like Ollie. We balled out with Ollie.
Why can't you just speak normally? Just speak normally. It's 10-11 at night. You got neighbours, man. Relax.
No, during all the season, we finished second. We finished third, right? And Ole give us
and do by 20 points. Don't make it look like we finished second.
Let's
20 points.
Calm down, Nudin.
Oh,
and that was
Luani, all in revisionism. It's unbelievable.
No.
I got whacked. I remember we got beat by Cardiff. I relegated team at Old Trafford. We got bopped off the park. What are we doing here? I was there. Sorry, with my own eyes.
Calm down. Okay. We finished second.
We finished second. We finished okay. We finished second with 82 points with Jose Mourinho. Are you trying to tell me Jose Mourinho was a good football? That's the cap, man.
No. I'm not saying that's a good. There's two ways to measure the success of a team. Some people measure it by performance, which is more sustainable. Some people measure it by result. One I know is that when it comes to performance, it can be subjective. When it comes to result, it's an absolute. That cannot be debated. Okay, wins are wins, losses are losses, draws are draws. But how you obtain it, it depends who you're talking to. Or doing Ole, we finish second and third. By how many points off the top, it doesn't really matter. The position say what the position says. And during that time, Liverpool and City were running rampant in the league. If you have any doubt on how difficult this league is to obtain, go ask Arteta. He's about to finish how many times in a row as a bridesmaid. It's not that easy. Now, when we bring it back, the discussion back to the issue of measuring performance versus measuring it with the result that we get. When Amorim came in, he finished 15 last year. 15. And at the beginning of this year, nobody tagged us to even finish in the Champions League spot. But we were still a sinking ship under Amorim when Carrick came in. And then we start going in the other direction. That's where I want us to look us, okay? I want Carrick to do well, okay? But he has shown me in these past few games that I don't rate him as a manager. But I'll give what's to Caesar. What I mean by that is, as a manager, you earn the right to get more time when you get results. And he gained results. No matter how you try to spin it, mathematically or arithmetically, if you add his result together, he end up in the Champions League spot. If he does, by measure of that, the season can be qualified as a success because of our objective. The objective has been reached, no matter how he reach it. Now, is that sustainable long term? No. But did he earn the right to at least get a chance with this group of players? Because when you reach that objective that have been set for you, it set a certain kind of bonding between the coach and the players. It suggests that the coach is doing some things right. One of those things is taking Kobbie Mainoo and building the team around him. We all wanted that to happen during Amorim. Now, Carrick came and pulled that lever. He pressed that button, and this just happened. Let's allow him to capitalize on that. Let's allow him to build on this and see where we go from there. He earned the right to get a little bit more time. That's all. But as for what you say in terms of performance, 100% agree with you. But I think it will be a little too harsh while he have achieved his objective with this group of players to come to him and say, you know what, now we're going to pull the rug from under you because the performance haven't justified. What? The performance is subjective. He can say that you set a goal for me. I got that the only way I know I can get there, looking at this group of players that are in front of me. And I was able to get them to achieve that. You cannot deny that. Mathematically, if he get top 4, that's he's successful by his own metric. So we have to at least reward that success.
Yeah, Luani, let me just take us back to where I started with Carrick, because we can talk about his results. When you look at his results, it's been fantastic. But we won against City. That was a great win. Arsenal game away, we scored some worldies. I would say we all remember Ballon d'Or, for example. It's an even game. We win it. It's a strong result. Then we go against Fulham. We win the game 3-2. Late winner by Sesko. Tottenham, Spurs, we play against them. They get a red card, Romero. But before the red card, Spurs is the dominant team. We go away to West Ham, play against Nuno Espirito Santos, against a back 5, 3 DMs, just close the central area, and we produced nothing. We played 1-1 against West Ham. Then we go away to David Moyes' Everton. He tries the same. He plays with the back 5, strong central. We struggle to score. I think we have a late winner by Sesko, or was it Mbumo? We win the game 1-0. Performance, not good. Then we go away, we win home against Palace 2-1. Palace got a red card, and they played the Europa League 3 days before that game. We had a week's rest. So Palace, they lost their energy after, I would say, 60 to 65 minutes. We lost against Newcastle away. We won great game 3-1 against Aston Villa, 2-2 against Bournemouth. We all remember that one. We lost against Leeds, and now we won against Chelsea. This is Carrick, if you sum up his days at Man United. Performance-wise, I wouldn't say it's not close to good enough, but I'm always saying it's not just about the manager; it's all about the player and the squad. So the squad is not good enough, and I don't know if we've seen the best from Carrick, but I think he looks a little bit unimaginative when it comes to how he picks his teams, sets up his tactics. It's very straightforward, very basic. He seldomly tries new things, and his in-game management is poor. So again, based on the data we have already, tells me it won't work. It could change. It could come in new players in the summer, and the level will be raised, and Carrick will do better. But again, talking just about Carrick, I think he needs help. This is my opening statement. Ineos needs to back Carrick if Carrick is the man. We need to bring in at least two experienced coaches, not just Steve Holland. We got to kick out Woodgate and kick out Evans. They have no experience at this level. We need better managers, better coaches, a better team around him, people who can help him in situations where he needs help. Because right now we are just seeing Steve Holland. Steve Holland, his basic tactics, defensive tactics, and the in-game management, it's like a deer in the headlight. He's not doing anything, Carrick, when it things needs to be done. So again, this is not me criticizing Carrick. This is me criticizing Ineos, because they need to see this. If Carrick is the guy, okay, but help him out, for God's sake. Help him out. That's just my statement.
I I think I'm not going to say anything. I'm going to talk about Nanglesman now. So Nanglesman he's what you call a hipster. I have already been failed by a hipster, which was Ten Hag, the only coach that I actually wanted at Manchester United, and he was the biggest letdown ever. And now I genuinely think about any coaches from outside who've never played in the Premier League. And I know that you could say the same about Pep, you could say about the club, you could say about every coach that's came here. Jose, in his first tenure at Chelsea, never played in the Premier League, and the Premier League's different, but I just don't see it. But just to say, this is some of the notes that I've been making for the past couple of days. So Julian Nagelsmann was born on the 23rd of July, 1987. He's age 38. He's the head coach of the German national team at the moment in time. He took in charge of the Euro 2024, and he still remains in his post. He obviously took Germany through the Nations League and the World Cup qualifiers, and obviously they've qualified for the World Cup in 2026. His career path, 2016-19, he took over Hoffenheim, youngest ever Bundesliga manager at the age of 28, and he took them to Champions League qualification. That is where he did things, and then everybody in the world was talking about him. That's where he became prominence to. This young guy, 28-year-old, doing incredible things with Hoffenheim. And then 2019 to 2020, he went and took RB Leipzig to the Champions League semi-finals. 2021 to 23, he was at Bayern Munich, Bundesliga title. He got sacked because of a friction with the German board, Bayern Munich board and the hierarchy. And now he's still, obviously, 2024 till now, he's still with the German national team. I think one of the things that they said they didn't like about him, he skateboarded to the training complex. So he's a guy, he's quite unusual, quite quirky, and he skateboarded, and people were like, he's skateboarding to the training ground. Like, what are we doing here? Like, who's this guy? Because obviously the German press were taking photos of him skateboarding to the training ground, and then it became like a big joke of Germany or whatever. Nagelsmann is heavily influenced by a person who's already been at Manchester United, Ralf Rangnick, the gegenpressing, the high intensity, the pressing, similar to Klopp, to Pep, to Thomas Tuchel. The biggest things what I read about him was that he describes his footballing philosophy as 30% tactics, 70% social competence. So he is really big on the player psychology and the individual motivation and building the genuine rapport with the players. Because he's a young guy, obviously. He can be the similar age, they have similar interests, but some of the players that he's coached, especially at Hoffenheim, some of the players were older than him. He was 28 years old. So, But in terms of what his football philosophy is incredibly coordinated, high pressing football. He believes in positional fluidity, loads of rotations, constantly swapping roles. And some of us, if you watched Bayern Munich when he was there, you saw it. Always about exploiting the spaces. Always, always. And obviously, in terms of build-up, very vertical, similar to what most coaches do now, really. From the back is vertical, diagonal possession, where the progression, how they like to get out. The big thing about it, some people like, is the dynamic patterns of attacking. He is not somebody who you would ever accuse on rigid system. He's not. His movements are in and out, to collapse defensive blocks. That's what he does. He likes third man runs. He likes opposite movements. He just loves movement. His biggest thing is the movement. Most of his style and all of that, he's a massive user of data. So and a lot of the things that he's been innovative has been using training screens, instant positional feedback. He loves technology. He likes to use technology And I know some of you might be thinking, is he just another kind of? You won't see the same what you saw with Arteta with the pens, when they're holding the pens. But he likes to use like giant training screens, instant feedback. Like that's what he likes to do. He likes to use technology, and he's data driven. Another big thing is that set piece is a huge thing for him. The corners, his team's very well organized defensively, but also attacking wise. He loves the set pieces, especially if corners, very aggressive. The formations that he's been known to use is 4-2-3-1. But he's also used for some of his teams 3-4-2-1 and 3-5-2. He's used these things. He's used these different formations. So he can play in a 4. He can also play in a 3. And he's done that. But in possession, he often shifts to like 3-1-5-1 or double diamond shape. Jarvis always talks about the diamond shape, actually. He likes when in modern football, diamond shape. Jarvis, can you just let people know what is the use of the diamond shape? Why do coaches use the diamond shape? What is the things that you get?
Well, it's most of the time it's diamonds, set up 3 guys. You always have 2 alternatives, but now one further you have the diamonds, and it's harder to defend against. But the last part of the diamond is always dropping, so that's the guy coming into the play. So it's more fluent. It's not a set structure with the diamond. And we all saw this under Amorim. We know that he likes his number 10s to drop down and be the guy who will be available for the play. But also Carrick do this. We saw this against Chelsea a couple of times, and Bruno dropping down, setting up the counter-attack and just start running in behind. So again, this is nothing new. This is nothing new, but it's interesting.
Yeah, he's also, one of the big things is that the attacking diamond, but exactly what you said, he used players, and I remember specifically at Bayern Munich, if I'm not mistaken, he used Musiala. Musiala was the guy who was coming and dropping, like linking the forward, like to receive between the lines, and then bringing the wide players, on vertical, like the stretch that you can do. So he used that, and I see it for Germany as well.
But also on the Leipzig, when he had Schweinsteiger doing a little bit of the same role, dropping in and be that 4th man in the diamond. Yeah.
But I also saw him using actually both Wirtz and Musiala as well for the national team. I watched their game. What game did I watch? I watched one of their friendly games, and Wirtz was doing similar things. The biggest thing, what I like about him, actually, one of my biggest things that I actually like is similar to De Zerbi, the creating of the overloads is essential. And actually, Rosinia also does it at Chelsea. We saw it. We saw how Chelsea attack, where you got someone like Palmer getting on the ball, and then you've got the winger, and then you've got what's his name, the guy with the big hair, the Spanish left back.
Yeah, Cucurella.
Cucurella, yeah. So always on the wide areas, overloaded. I mean, the best who's done it in the Premier League for me was that Brighton team, De Zerbi Brighton team. They showed that within 10 seconds they had 3 players overloaded on either the right hand side or the left hand side to be able to tap in, or for the cutback, always 3 or 4 players overloaded anytime within 10 seconds. And I actually remember it. They did it against Chelsea. They dismantled Chelsea once. I think it was 2 years ago in the spring when I was watching Brighton Heavy, where De Zerbi was doing incredible things. So, width comes from obviously the wingers, and then they cutting inside is a massive thing. So he likes the opposite kind of players coming from different sides. So left footers playing on the right, right footers playing on the left, cutting in. So that's what he likes. His in-game adaptability, half times are proven every club, and with Germany, he's really good, really, really good. Like his in-game adaptability, changing tactics like 3. I've seen it like by minute twice or 3 times. We see what's happening in the game. Man management is supposed to be excellent. He gets the best out of the most talented players and temperamental players. He builds chemistry quickly. Pressing and transitions, again, that's his biggest thing, to lead some, dangerous counters. Obviously, I already talked about the overloads, set piece threat, major emphasis. One of the big things what people like him as well, he's not one of these people who will be overawed by a player. Like, he will drop you. Decision making is clarity. He will literally drop big players. Drop big players. If you're not doing what he wants you to do, see you later. You know what I mean? You're getting on the bench unless you prove it otherwise. But he doesn't write players off. He will drop them, but he will get them back into the group again. Like I said, using the psychology, getting them back in and try to get them to understand what he wants them to do.
Quick question, Merlin. Do you think this is adaptable to the Premier League? I think this is the main question we all have. I'm literally up to the last bit. I'm up to the last bit, just for 5 more minutes, and then we can do that. So these are the areas of concern, and this is what some of the notes that I got. So what people have said is that over rotation, frequent formation, striker changes. So he changes the 3 of the 9s in one. He made 3 different number 9s in one game. He subbed up he played 3 different number 9, 3 different strikers in one game. This what people are saying. It disturbs the chemistry, the understanding. And this is what he's getting criticism for, really, because some people are saying he shouldn't be a national coach because you don't get that much time together with the national players. So his ways of doing things are more susceptible to club management than they are to a national. So and especially for Germany, this is one of the criticism. A lot of the criticism that I've seen from him is people critiquing him on the way that the Germany are playing right now. One thing is also, and this is a red flag for me, a massive red flag, is that his high press, when it is bypassed, the base of the diamond can lack physical coverage. So because he is so gung-ho in the way he presses, he sometimes would take the risk of being played out. If the opposing team plays out, you can then get through to the middle. He's also been accused of overthinking. And at Bayern, apparently, specifically at Bayern, some of the senior players lost faith in his tactical tinkering. He is what you call a tinkerer. Like I said to you, he will change. I've seen him, and I've read it in the notes as well, that 3 times he's changed the shape team, the tactics of the team, the shape, the team, 3 times in the game. Yeah. Wow. So that is one thing. Yeah. In terms of overall assessment of him, they say Nanglesman is world's one of the youngest and brightest coaches in world football, tactical innovator, elite man management skills, a proven results at every level. He's German side player, high dynamic, high pressing, dangerous in open play with clear improvement, breaking down to mid to low blocks. The main challenge is consistency reduce. Yeah, so in Germany he's struggling, and everybody who says anything about him says he's trying to make German team because of the level of detail and the things that he wants to get across to players. It's very difficult because they only have certain time where they meet up, so he can't do that. And they're saying that's a mistake, and that's why he's leaving after this, after the World Cup, win, lose or draw, he's leaving. And it's still a question because they're saying that his way of playing football is not conducive to a national team, but more to a club team. So that's the 2 pence.
This is it. A lot of people have been asking me, by the way, loads of people have been asking me about who Nanglesman. Can you please do a video? Can you do this? So that's what I've done, people. It's taken me a week to do research to get notes, different notes. So this is what we've done. But go ahead, guys. What do you guys think?
When it comes to Nanglesman, I know two Nanglesmen. The first one is from the club RB Leipzig, and I think his identity with the high line, the press, the intensity of the press, and the man for man. I think I'm not sure how that would translate into the Premier League, because in the Premier League, everybody pretty much play like Atletico. I've seen a discipline of the Gengen press in the Premier League in Jurgen Klopp. He did his thing for a couple of years, and then when the injury started hitting the team, he threw in the towel because the board wouldn't spend money to get more players. So based on that, I'll say I'm not too sure how that kind of football can translate into the Premier League. After watching the game last week with Aston Villa and Sunderland, I don't even know who the coach of Sunderland is. And looking at the way they play each other, the intensity on the game, I don't think anybody with a high line will survive here. So it's a hell no for me. I think he's a coach in transition right now. Looking at the way he coached the German national team, is almost a bit more pragmatic version of him. But still, I think he's still looking for an identity, and we shouldn't engage in that kind of experiment. I don't think we have the squad to sustain his kind of football, because when it gets intense to a certain level and we start getting ravaged by the injury, subject to the grave physicality of the Premier League, we don't have the squad for that. I don't think the board will be able to give him the players that can sustain that type of football. So it's a no.
No, that's fair. That's fair. Like I said to you at the beginning of this, that I have been put off by coaches coming from different countries, and it's not. And the German league is totally different to the Premier League. Go ahead, Eski.
Yeah, but do you know what? Lorne made really good points there. Yeah, I don't. Like you said, the board's not going to trust this guy. It's not like you're going to come in, you want to play this style of football. It's going to take a lot of money. You might not like certain players, and it's just a whole load of things. And if we all agree that the board traditionally don't back managers, are they going to back this guy? No. It just doesn't make sense to have him over, like I said, someone we already have now. So, like I said, for me, just sounds like another hipster. If you want to play that high line, high pressing, whatever, and, like you said, a drawback is it gets exposed when you just bypass the midfield. It's still like, the one who says everyone plays like Atletico, it's all compact, strong midfielders. We criticise our team for not being strong enough in midfield. So we're linked with Tonali, we're linked with other players as well. So you look at Guimaraes. So realistically, now you get that guy in. Like I said, we need a manager to either come in and this style fits this team almost one for one or very close, or like I said, the alternative is to keep Carrick now because he's getting a tune out of these players for what he has right now. So, like I said, 75% win rate. Small sample size to suggest that we should get the job or not. But like Loani mentioned before as well, the most important thing is results. And right now, he's done the objective or almost done the objective to get us back into the Champions League. That was his objective. It was the club's objective. And like I said, we can start looking at players already, really, and try to get some over the line because we know we're going to be in there. So might as well try and fund this manager as best you can. We didn't spend anything in January, whether that's down to money issues or whatever. We might have a bit more spends there, see what's going on, and hopefully we can do something. But with Nagelsmann now, I think he's going to be another hipster. Can't replicate his ideas in here. I think he goes to Liverpool, and I think that's a better fit. For what he wants to do, he's got players there. He's got Florian Wirtz there. He'll fucking understand what he's trying to do there. But he's his manager at international level. I think he's just got better suited players there. He's got wing backs, Kirkes, Frimpong. If you want to play that high intensity football there, you've got players that are ready for it. Might need to buy another winger, sell us fucking off. But other than that, I don't think he suits our team. He suits other teams in the league. If he comes to Man United, he'll probably fail.
Yeah, I mean, I feel, I don't think. I think to be able to play the Gegen press, you're going to have a massive squad overhaul. I don't think the Manchester United players can play the Gegen press. Ralph Rangnick tried it. It worked for It lasted 38 minutes. I was there at Old Trafford against Crystal Palace, and after that, they gave up. So yeah, I don't think it's going to work unless we get the players to be able to do it. I think he could be a good coach for somebody. I think he could be a good coach for a very stable football clubs where they are willing to take on these new ideas the way he's the maverick that he is. But I don't think it would be at Manchester United. I said Manchester United should go all out to go and get somebody like Ancelotti, because one thing, he will get the respect, and he will also, he's an honest man, Ancelotti. He will tell it as it is. But I wouldn't just get Ancelotti, I would get two of the top coaches from Europe or anywhere around the world to come and work with him that can do player developments and improve. And I would be saying to be patient with somebody like Ancelotti and the best that you can get out of players and all of his years of experience. That's what I think Manchester United should do. And I know that Ancelotti will also call it as it is when he's not being backed. And you know what I mean? He's made all the money. He's not doing it. He won't be doing a job like Manchester United because for money, because he's got all the money in the world. He'll be doing it because he would want to try to rebuild a Manchester United maybe can compete. But it will be like a 3-year project. It won't be, it could be 3 to 4 year project. But I don't see them doing that because he would want power. But I don't see that doing that because what they're looking for is first team coaches. The other guy is Reort, but I think Reort, again, if Manchester United do not buy 7 to 8 players this summer, then he's not going to last there either. He will be thrown under the bus. And the amount of running that you have to do, you need to buy incredibly fit footballers for him to do. So, for example, Reort, Luke Shaw won't be able to play. Harry Maguire won't be able to play. Who else won't be able to play? Would he kind of drop? So, Diego Dalot won't be able to play because the amount of running power that you need. And I think, obviously, Kobbie's young enough, but he can adapt. And actually, Kobbie would be played a bit more, even more further. The way that he uses Christie at the moment for Bournemouth, but he would have runners. I think Ahmad could be turned into a player who can go up and down, but you would need 8, like I said, 7 to 8 players, especially at least 4 or 5 of them that can run. And that's what it is in modern football. You have to have the technical ability, but you should be able to have the legs to get around the football pitch. And the way that Bournemouth press and the risky football that they take. So that's where we're at. But I believe on the Michael Carrick, we're set up for Centerman FC. That's all I see. Ben was here. Was it me or was Ben here? Did Ben get off?
Ben was here, but I left. So yeah.
Patterns are pretty. When you have a high line, they're pretty. But when you are out of possession in the high line, that press needs to be on point. Out of possession, high line without a press is a suicide. Same thing, even in possession, high line without control is also suicide. We don't have neither. If you look at our team, even in Nanglesman system, you want to go 1v1. In the Premier League, our players will get shrugged off the ball. We can do 1v1. Who in our team can go 1v1? Like who? Cunha is the only person that comes to mind. After Cunha, everybody else is a physical. It's frail. Ahmad, you go from Ahmad to sorry.
Yeah, I think Ahmad for 1v1.
No. I mean, in terms of like, if we are, I'm saying out of possession. If we have to.
Out of possession. Okay.
Out of possession. If we have to go man for man and defend, who can we trust? No one.
Yeah.
Our team is not a physical team, so I think we are not set up properly. We don't have the right team for Nanglesman.
Yeah, big up Luana. Luana says, keeping Carrick because he gets Champions League. Give him Maguire an extension. That show me Ineos and United are not serious about being successful. We like being in a comfort zone 100%. More than that, it's part of the PR. It's part of the club's PR. Yeah, big up Adewale. I appreciate the super chats, bro. Go ahead, Jarvis.
Yeah, guys, I think you make valid points, but when it comes to Nagelsmann, it's a big no. It's basically just because of he's not Premier League proven. I think it's I don't know how his tactics will work in the Premier League, and that's my biggest worries. And we are at the stage where we can't make another mistake. We have done now so many mistakes in a row with Ten Hag and Amorim and Ole and all of this. You know, we're done taking chances. We just need to play it safe, go down the narrow road, and do the right thing. And that is to bring in a Premier League proven manager with experience who can actually come in, do a job for Man United, who has the experience, who can go with his team. And at the moment, I only see Iraola maybe is the one, you know, for me, maybe. And besides that, you know, just give it to Carrick, but he needs proper coaches. He needs help. This is where I am at the moment. But for me, you know, what can Nagelsmann actually bring? You know, he can't make the players run more when it comes to the press play. We saw this under Amorim. Amorim, he likes to play with this pentagon shape, this 5-player moving from one side to the other, locking off the goalkeeper, pressing, using the sideline as the extra man, pressing and win the ball back in the final third. It never worked. It never worked because we have players who can't play together. Kill me if you like, you know, it's unpopular opinion. Bruno can't press, he just runs around, you know, he doesn't understand the press triggers. And we have other players, it's not just Bruno, but he's the first comes to mind. So again, you know, if we're keeping our number 10 for another season, we can't go with the high press, high line type of play. And another thing, as Adewale so eloquently put it, we gave Maguire a new contract. So again, are we going to play with a high line with Maguire? He moves like a slug. You've seen him, he can't run. You know, so playing Maguire in a high line, now that's suicide football. So again, we can't do it. So everything is lining up to Carrick getting the job. It's not Nagelsmann. It's not Iraola. Iraola likes high intensity, high press with his players. He wants them to work like 100% all round for the full 90s. You know, I saw a player tonight, Ferran Kadioglu. I made a deep dive on Kadioglu a couple of years ago. I wanted us to sign him from I think he came from Turkey or something.
Yeah, he's Turkish footballer.
Yeah. I think he could actually come in and do a decent job because he has the high energy, as we've seen with.
He was sensational for Turkey in the Euros.
He was, and he was sensational tonight against Chelsea. Again, one of the players I would love us to sign. You know, if we actually are serious, we should get in place, as you said, Nuruddin, with energy, guys who can run for the full 90s and actually do something in the game. We are past the point where we don't. Where we have people who can just stand there and watch and be the stars, you know, the technical players, everybody, all the teams, you know, a team is stronger than an individual. Right. And also I want to say, I want us to look forward and buy the right players. You know, we've been linked to Baleba, for example. I saw Baleba for Brighton today. Baleba is not involved in the build-up play. He can't build up from the back, you know. He lets the technical centre-backs like Van Hecke play the ball through the lines. Baleba is just like a spare centre-back, dropping down when needed, when the technical centre-backs move up to play the ball. He's not that type of player. I'm not sure.
But he's also very on confidence, Jarvis. He's also, at the moment, he's been dropped. He's had a bad season. He's very
but he hides, you know. But how can you expect a player to do anything at Man United as one of the biggest clubs in the world when you hide at Brighton?
But Jarvis,
In football, you want to seek the ball. You want to be available.
I hear you, but what I'm saying to you is that don't just take what you saw tonight and think that's what he is. I have actually seen him take the ball and play the 30-yard diagonal into Matoma's feet. I have seen Matoma make that run from outside to inside, and he's found him. I have seen him take the ball and play 1-2 and get out. He's hardly played. He's hardly played this season.
But don't get me wrong. I'm not saying he's a bad footballer. I'm saying he hides, and I don't know his potential because he just let the game go past him. And for me, that's not the type of footballer I want. I want a player like, for example, West Ham Mateus Fernandes. He doesn't hide. He wants the ball all the time. He wants like Elliot Anderson, who runs around with his arms out. Give me the ball. Give me the ball. He wants to be involved. He wants to take the game by the scruff of its neck and do something. This is proper Man United players. These are the ones we are used to back in the days. These are the Man United DNA, not players that hides. And for me, we need to do this properly. And what player we will sign at the end, I don't know. But I want us to sign the right profiles with the right attitude.
Yeah.
Does that bring us into Tchouameni's discussion?
Yeah. Quickly, let's go to just Tchouameni. What do we think about Tchouameni? First of all, let me just say this. Manchester United getting Tchouameni anytime soon. I think it's just how do you rattle up the fan base? I told you we get used by agents, by journalists, and sometimes agents and journalists work together to bring about, to get the feeling about what the Real Madrid are feeling about Tchouameni. So what the hierarchy of Real Madrid, just to test the water. So they go, actually, he's not for sale. And as reports will come out tonight, they're saying Tchouameni is not for sale. Here it says there's no indication from Real Madrid that are considering selling Ariel and Tchouameni. So for me, yes. I said it, and this came out, 1 hour ago. I said it, I set up the stream this afternoon. So it's not like I'm jumping on a bandwagon. Tchouameni, this is his best season for Real Madrid. I think Camavinga, the fan base are not having him, and I think they're open to selling to Camavinga. But Tchouameni is somebody that I think they waited for him to get fit, and he's been injured. I think 2024 he's consistent. But I say in terms of player profile, I actually think he's a bit of a coward when it comes to 50-50s. And he will only do the minimum of things. But he is a deep lying, a ball playing is limited, is very limited, his ball playing ability. But he's a deep lying guy who protects the centre backs. He is somebody who sits in front of the centre backs and he will protect the centre backs. He can play as a centre back as well. He's actually, he's good in the air in terms, but it's only in the La Liga type of in the air, La Liga. But he is, I've seen him jump out of 50-50s, put it that way. And I don't think I'm waiting for him to come to the Premier League. He's the type of player that will need a year or 2 years to adaptation, because he already, the adaptation for him to go from Monaco to Real Madrid was already a time, and now they're bearing the fruits of it. So for me, it's exactly the same. What I'm saying, if you hire, to me, the only coach that I will hire from outside who I think might be good for Manchester United to stabilize the football club would be someone like, because all of the thing that he's got, the credit he has in the football, in the world football bank, is Ancelotti. He's not somebody who's going to fall out with players right, left, and centre. He's somebody who puts his arm around. So he's the only one that I'm willing to accept from outside. But I'm not accepting midfielders really from outside. I think there are enough midfielders in the Premier League, including Baleba.
But Nuruddin, who will set the standards?
1 second.
Let's say okay.
Well, 1 second. So for me, because I believe that young players can go up and down, their form can go up and down. I think Elliot Anderson is a clear outstanding player that we should go and get. I think Tonali. I even think Bruno Guimaraes. There are midfielders. By the way, Jarvis, I don't know what happened last night. I went to bed and I couldn't sleep. So I went and did a deep dive into Aidan Hackney.
Yes, interesting.
I've done a really deep dive, and I was awake till 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning. I just couldn't sleep, and I just got back up and went on a laptop, and I just started
Championship
watching
player of the season.
Yeah, I started watching so many different combination videos, reading. I came across an article, actually. I'll send it to you, and it has got video. It was an article written by 442. So they did the best article I've seen about him was that one, but I'll send it to you. And actually looking at him, he is a ball player. He is aggressive. The big thing about him, he's 23 years old, and I think certain players, you can teach them. There are new coaches, you can use technology and certain things to scan and to get back in positioning, but that's his biggest failure of Aiden Hackney. But in terms of ball carrying, using his body, drive, he's sometimes way too passionate in the tackle. You know, he gets the yellow cards, he gets way too involved. He can, for the positions he takes up, he could score a lot more goals. But in terms of passing, why, my God, he likes to bang, 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 20 yards, 15 yards. He does it casually. He's got the perfect frame, the perfect running power of the thing. And I actually doubted him because I remember I saw things about him when we were first linked. But is he ready for the Premier League jump? All the things that I read, they said he's ready for the Premier League jump. But he will be a risk. But the Championship is super competitive, and midfield battles are battles. Let me just get this super chat. Big up Grace Sheridan. He said, we should have been building a style of play and patterns this season, and we're going into next season with no real plan, and fans are left in the dark. But this is what Manchester United are. This is what this ownership is in Manchester United. Go ahead, Jarvis, you were saying.
No, I was just going to ask you a question about the midfielders we are bringing in. Let's say we are keeping Mainu. We know Casemiro is going. We know Ugarte is going. So again, maybe we are signing 2, and there are talks of 3 players on the Ugarte sale. So 3 midfielders are coming in. So who is going to lead the line? Where is the experience? Who are going to talk to these midfielders when they have, you know, up and down performances from a week in, week out, and set the standards? For me, I'm a little bit worried because we have only been linked to this young type of players. And we know Ineos, they only want to sign first or second professional contract. This is where we're going. I started with this in my opening statement, talking about Pascal Gross at Brighton. We're talking about Granit Xhaka at Sunderland, Jordan Henderson at Brentford, Casemiro at Man United. You know, that old head just dragging the players over the line, setting the standards, what's acceptable. How do we behave in training? How do we behave meeting up in time? You know, how do we behave against the fans? How do we behave? You know, where's the standards? When is it appropriate to pick up your phone and check your social media? You know, how do you answer your gaffer? You know, I think I see a problem with us going down this Chelsea road by signing 22 years old, 23 years old, 20 years old, and Kobbie Mainoo as, you know, the guy who's been around for a couple of seasons. So again, I smell trouble in a long way coming with this approach.
You're correct on that.
Well, 1 second, Luwadi, I just want to say big up to that guy comment, by the way. That's the fair shout. But I'm talking about minimizing the risk for Manchester United because we can't afford to risk. I asked the question, do you want Nanglesman in the chat? 52% have said no. 48% have said yes. And the other question was, do you think we've secured Champions League? 72% said yes, 28% said no. Big up, Luwani. Go ahead.
Jarvis, talking about bringing in the midfielders, I think when you bringing in leadership and experience, you're going to sacrifice that in terms of youth and age. But when he's in the position of the midfield, you know you're going to need a little stamina. So youth is also very important. I guess a balance will do. But when you look across the Premier League right now, I don't know any other player than the Fernandez of West Ham. I think that he's a leader.
I think he's 20 or 21 or something.
21?
Yeah.
He's young. Okay, yeah,
He's
I think he
very young.
offers
Very
the
young.
best balance when it comes to youth and then playing beyond his age. Actually, he's a pretty good player. Now, when it comes to Tchouameni, I heard his name being floated with at the same time with Kamavinga. It's a hell no for me, no bueno. Just because uh, I think both of them are overrated. When you talk about them from the standpoint of the Real Madrid team, they will have been heralded to take over for to be the young crop of new midfielder that will take over for Toni Kroos and Modric. But for some reason, they haven't been able to break into that Real Madrid team. And you have people like Bellingham and Valverde being playing out, Valverde especially being playing out of position and starting over both of them. Whether you want to link that to injury or whether you want to link that to the level, still it is that they both not starters for Real Madrid. So I don't know how it is that they will be able to accustom to the Premier League. And then you shift to their national team, is literally the same thing. The French national team has been looking for a hair since Paul Pogba messed up his career. They still have to call in Kante and then deal with the mama's boy, Mr. Rabiot. I know there's a lot of politics involved, but if your national team does still have to rely on Kante and Rabiot, that means that there's something wrong with Tchouameni and Kamavinga both not being able to break into that team. So yeah, it's not convincing for me. If you want to look out, if you hell bent on signing a French international, why don't you just go sign the AS Roma Manu Kone? He's a fantastic player. I rate him. I believe
He's
that
good.
he can do a job for us.
And not Premier League proven again.
Yeah. So so I mean you can look across Ligue 1 and find plenty of midfielders in Ligue 1 that are competent. The physicality in Ligue 1 can translate easier into the Premier League, and it'll be from a price standpoint, it'll be more affordable or cheaper for us rather than going from the big name. I don't see us signing Tchouameni for less than 70 million, and that's too much money spent. Let's look in the Premier League.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Ski.
Yeah, Tchouameni, I mean, we need that replacement. I think, we're looking at Guimaraes, Tonali, like you guys mentioned, good points, looking at Premier League proven guys. I think for me, it all depends on the price. But what I will say is the last two acquirements from Real Madrid, I've done this quite well. Varane, decent partnership with Varane, won 2 trophies there. One of the better partnerships in the Premier League and Europe at the time for some metrics anyway, before we became fucking Donut FC and it all went tits up. But for a little while, he was quite competent. Obviously played under Oli as well, so he had a couple of years under his belt. So he did well. Casemiro, ups and downs, but at the beginning of his career at United, the end of his career at United, in fact, I wouldn't be upset if he stayed. Like, to be honest, I think a lot of fans want him to stay just because, like I said, even like Jarvis's point, just that old head to keep around. You made a good point with Xhaka and all these teams. Henderson, they've just got someone there just to keep it how they're going. Like I remember, my age when you heard stories of how they used to police the dressing room and stuff in it, making sure there's fines for not being on time and whatever else. And Jesse Lingard and whatever didn't give a fuck. But now we've got a good group of players, good head on the shoulders, and I just think that we might need to look at someone to just bolster that the leadership thing. I don't think any of us have gone full gung-ho with the Chelsea thing, so I don't think there's anything to worry about that. I mean, look at, Mazraoui, De Ligt, some Mbeumo, Cunha. They're not young. Again, they're on maybe first and second contracts, but, some are Premier League proven, some aren't. But the ones that are, Mazraoui, he's done quite well for us. De Ligt, one of our standout players when he is available. That's just an issue right now. But I would say that them two have been good acquisitions, good ages, decent experience as well internationally, and for other big clubs. So I think getting players that I've Prem proven and have not played for a big club, we've seen that it's done quite well. But the people that we've brought from outside the Premier League, Mazraoui and De Ligt, both played for Ajax, both wherever they're at Bayern. De Ligt's obviously Juventus as well. De Ligt's massive. What was he? He's still the youngest Ajax captain ever. You know, so he does have leadership qualities even for him being younger. You know, it's just a shame that he is injured. But like I said, yeah, losing Casemiro, I'm with you there, Jarvis. That'd be a big miss, you know, just for the squad, just to have him around. And, you know, it's almost like we took an international team and said, like, oh, you know, Henderson, keep him around England, it's good for the squad. But, you know, to your point, you know, that is actually a reason why a lot of managers internationally will take an older head just to, you know, set up the camp, say this is how it is. You know, I've been here before. So a lot of that, like, where's the metric for that? There's no value onto that in part of the contract. So like you said, yeah, very good points. But for me, Tchouameni, back to the main one. I'm undecided. I'll be honest. I can't say yes or no. I'm undecided. No, I'll be real, because we are going to need someone. You know, if Guimaraes is going to be like 70, 80 million quid and Tchouameni's like 50, 60, what does the club do? You know what I'm saying? We don't back up on to do anything correctly. So at the end of the day, if it comes down to a cheaper option, they might just elect for that, to be fair, because, you know, Premier League players, what they go for nowadays, by the way, 50 million, got an actual 50 million, they're nowhere worth that. So if you're looking at it that way, the players that come from Spain, you know, the standout players, they do get sold for a lot. But I mean, Tchouameni, like you said, he's been in and out. Luani made the point that him and Camavinga have kind of flopped at Madrid. So if that's the sentiment, why can't we get him for like a 35, 40 million quid, you know? So yeah, that's my understanding. I'm indifferent, I'm unsure.
Well, my point when it comes to this, people can connect the dots if you like yourself, but Real Madrid are saying one statement: they don't want they don't want to sell Tchouameni, they don't want to sell Camavinga. This came out on Madrid Extra tonight. Camavinga is booed by the Bernabeu when he gets the ball. You know, he's not a popular player at the moment, and by the looks of it, you know, looking at the player like, for example, Tonali, I wouldn't be surprised if we see him at in the Real Madrid shirt in next season. So again, you know, they have to fund this somewhere, you know, and Newcastle are talking about 100 million for Tonali. So for Real Madrid to sign Tonali, let's say they need to sell at least one of Camavinga and Tchouameni. So it's not impossible. It's just about, would we do a deal with Real Madrid? And the second question is, why do you think Real Madrid want to sell them? You know, Tchouameni, fantastic on paper. Same with Camavinga. We have done the breakdowns on my channel of both of them. None of them are Premier League proven. They were achieved as massive talents when they signed for Real Madrid. They were supposed to take over after the Cruna, Toni Kroos, Modric, and Casemiro, but they haven't quite kicked on. You know, Real Madrid not winning the league this year, not winning the Champions League. It's a disaster season for them. So again, you know, we are looking at big up Luan. The kiss cam. Good to see you guys. Good to see you. Yeah. So my point is, you know, it's not.
Sorry, it's my daughter. She's heading out. So.
Oh, okay, it was your daughter.
Who's that team, by the way? Who's that team? Oh, your boy. How's your boy doing tonight, Luani?
Nah, he's depressed.
Join the club.
To be fair, he's giving up. He's giving up a long time. So.
Yeah. But my point is, it's a risk signing one of these big type of players, you know, from big clubs, and again, are they good enough? I wouldn't take Camavinga. I would take Tchouameni if it was up to me. And 60, 70 million, okay.
Would you take Tchouameni above Tonali, Anderson?
Both of them are beyond, you know, they are 100+ million. I don't think we have that budget. I think we have budget for one big player and one medium player and one cheap player. I think this is where we are at the moment. Our budget will be 150 million plus the sales of Ugarte. That could bring us 15 to 30 millions. I don't know. So somewhere in between 165 to 180 millions. This is our budget when it comes to midfielders. So let's say if we splash 120 millions on Elliot Anderson right away, we have 65 left for two more midfielders. What does that bring us in the current market? So again, I don't think we will sign a player over 100 million. I think 80 probably will be the max. So then Tchouameni fits the bill.
To be fair, Mateta's on a free, you know. Mateta's a free agent, and so that's a good option.
So
Mateta.
Yeah, Mateta's free, in the summer. I think that'd be a good option there. I want us to get a striker. Yeah. I think Zirkzee will go. I think Ugarte will go. I think Jean-Philippe Mateta is a player that I've wanted for a long while now. Like I said, Prem proven, fell through to go to Milan, but that's a player we should be considering looking at. Like, seriously.
People, we had 1,200 of you in here early on tonight, and we've not even got to 200 likes. It's absolutely, I don't know what YouTube is doing. I don't know if it's you guys, but please, let's get to 200 likes. We are 49 or 40 something short of 200, so the least you could do is like the video. And also, we are 14.91 now, so we need 99 subscribers to get to 15k. Big up to everybody.
I think we just need to be opportunistic for once. Just rate the team that are getting relegated. If West Ham are getting relegated, just go pick up Matias Fernandez and Somerville or something, and then
Bowen.
We can go from even Bowen. But if we pick up Bowen, that means Bruno have to go.
No, I take Bowen as a second striker or first. He's flexible. We need players that can play.
Can I ask, do we all agree that Manchester United are not getting anywhere unless we sign 7 to 8 players this season? Especially playing
100%.
Playing 3 games a week. And that rotation has to become a massive thing next season.
Well, yeah, I agree. What would you say are the...
Do you agree, Eski, or do you disagree?
I agree. It's just not realistic. So,
what does that mean?
Do you guys see an aging player like Bruno?
Glazer talking point by saying it's not possible. Why is it not possible?
Like I said, you want me to say something I'm not going to say.
Why is it not possible? Nottingham Forest signed 20 players in one season.
Okay, do we have the Nottingham Forest?
7 players in one summer.
You ask a question and answer it yourself, innit? This is not productive.
Why do you think? Why is it not possible?
You've asked it 5 times. We're going to answer you, right? We don't have the Nottingham Forest board. We don't have the City board. We don't have the Arsenal board. We don't have any board that signs 7 to 8 players in a window.
Okay, so next time, just say I'm parroting Ineos Glazer talking point.
It's just ridiculous. Not what you're saying. It's just absolutely ridiculous. Nothing you said has just made sense. What would they come out and say? Yeah, sorry guys, we can't sign 7 to 8 players like Arsenal. It's not true. There's not things that happen. Like you just said, we're in a fucking deficit in terms of money. We can't sign 7 to 8 players. We're gonna have to promote some youth and start rotating more. But we don't sign 7 to 8 players. Will we progress? We'll have to see. But we will not sign 7 to 8 players. So I'm speaking on something that will happen. If you want to speak on, we're not going to sign 7 to 8 players, so we flux for next season, then that's your prerogative, isn't it? So we're just going to have negative stream after negative stream and say this is why we flux.
By the way,
your opinion's valid. Your opinion's valid, but it is.
We can comment with that because the second time you said the channel is negative. It's not.
I believe. No, hold on.
The toxic positivity is out
there.
It
doesn't sound positive.
And there's so many toxic positivity out there. And this channel,
I don't know what that means.
We ask the real questions. Toxic
I don't know what that means.
You need to just look in the mirror sometimes.
I don't understand what that means. I don't understand what that means at all.
This positivity where
I don't understand
owned by vultures who have sent this club to the doldrums. In 100 years, Manchester United played 40 games. In 100 years.
100 years. You just answered your own question right there.
Right. Crimey River.
Well, this is what I was saying, but that's what you accepting it. So you want to bootleg.
I'm being realistic. I'm being realistic.
You want to bootleg to Ineos and Glazer, but that's what you call realistic. You're bootlegging.
It's realistic.
You're talking. You're taking out the talking point. Man City have signed players in the last 2 years. They've completely, in 4 transfer windows, they have completely transformed the balance of their team in terms of how many new players that they brought in. Just on the loan. In the 2 Januaries, I think they signed 6 or 5. I think around 6 players they've signed in 2 Januaries.
What's that got to do with my team?
What do you mean? What's that got to do? You compared other.
Do we? All right. Do we have their board?
Your arguments. You start telling me about other football clubs.
Yeah. You've not answered my question. You've not answered my question though.
Your football clubs, if they want to, can bring the players that they need. Can make the changes that they want, but you want to parrot.
You're not going to answer the question.
And Glazer talking point and accuse me and the channel
Chat.
are being negative.
I do. Chat. No, well, all right. I'm not going to apologize for something I believe in. But look, guys, do you think that we have these other boards, or do we have the Manchester United Ineos board? I, for one, believe we have the Manchester United Ineos board. Now, the Manchester United Ineos board are not going to sign 7 to 8 players. That's what I believe. So I'm going to stick with that belief and discuss things on what I believe. So on the basis of we're not going to sign 7 to 8 players, we're probably going to sign close to about 4 or 5. Promote some youth, rotate next season and see where we're at. Based on that, I think, we're going to have to go big and buy someone. So like you're saying with Tonali, if he's going to cost £100 million, that detracts from him, because then all of a sudden we might buy 3 to 4 players. It just takes a big chunk out of what we're going to do. So if we buy 7 to 8 players and you'll cost like 20, 30 million each, that maybe makes sense, and it depends on sales. But realistically, we're not going to buy 3, 4 powerhouse midfielders. Like, no way in hell is that going to happen. So I'd like it to happen. I'd also like £2 million tomorrow. But, speaking of realism, it's just not going to happen. So I'm going to get up, go to work tomorrow, and life will go on. So based on what I think is going to happen, I think just being for whatever season, we're going to be trying to qualify. I think our aim next season should just be trying to qualify for the Champions League again, improve the squad, get used to this squad with new additions into rotation, see what we're at the following year, then maybe try and get an Enrique when the squad's a bit closer to being something more that a top manager can look at and manage, because we're not ready right now.
Yeah, Trevor, I believe that your ambition, it's just a matter of ambition, and Nuruddin's ambition does not align with the ambition of the board. Maybe Nuruddin is looking at it from the perspective of we need to get back to challenging consistently.
No, I'm not asking for challenge. I'm not saying that with 7 or 8 players. I think the squad needs those players. I believe that we need those players just to be able to qualify for Champions League next season. We need the numbers, and we need the players in terms of the quality, especially 3 midfielders we need to sign. We need to sign left back and a right back. We need an extra centre half. We need another striker, possibly, right?
I think we can get away.
I'm not saying that you can spend all of this money. There are players who are on free, decent players who can actually do a job for Manchester United that are on free transfers next season, and that you can go and find. I'm just telling you, and the numbers that we do need, and that when we look at the bench, when you're playing 3 games in a week, every 3 days when you're playing a game, I think this squad is going to struggle, and it's going to struggle big time. And then instead of saying, "Oh, we were resting too much in between games," they're going to be saying, "Oh, the players are fatigued."
I mean, when you look at that City squad, it doesn't. When you look at that City squad, right? I mean, does he strike you as a squad that is deep with quality? Maybe not.
They're changing. They've literally changed the foundation and the fundamentals of the team that did the treble for Man City. Who's leaving this summer? Look, John Stones is gone. Bernardo Silva's gone. Ederson's gone. Walker is gone. How many other players? That's the 4 or 5 I can name right now on top of my head. And I'm not a City fan. But Grealish. So I can count so many players, and I'm not a City fan. I am not a City fan. I don't know what's in it. But all I know is that when I look at their bench now, they've got fundamentally a different bench, and they've got different 11 in any given day that's on the pitch. And they've only promoted Riley, Rico Lewis, and out of all of the players that I recognize when they come on in games, it's Rico Lewis promoted from that was 2 seasons ago. They promoted from the youth team. Last season it was Nico Riley. I don't know who they're going to promote next season. And Foden was promoted 4 years ago. He's been promoted. So, but they've signed. They fundamentally, Haaland is there, but Semenya. This January alone, they bought Semenya and Gay. Last time, I think they signed 4 players last January, if I'm not mistaken.
Mamouche and all of them.
Mamouche, Kusanov, the midfielder, the midfielder that hardly ever plays now. I think he's Portuguese.
And the Wolves wing back.
Yeah, and
Nouri.
Al-Nouri. So they have changed and have signed players. They've got 2 centre halves within 2 different Januaries, like Gay and Kusanov. Kusanov now is proper settled in. Gonzalez, that's the guy. Yeah.
The reason I'm bringing up City. The reason I'm bringing up City is because they are the one that they are managing to have they are in 3 competitions, and they're managing to challenge in all those competitions. But when I look at their squad, I don't look at it as a set squad of they sign seven players or quality. They always constantly blending between signing a few quality here, a few Premier League players here, and then their own academy that they promote. So I think that we can be back in the Champions League next year. We can get away by signing a couple of midfielders, a left back, a left winger, and a striker, and we should be all right. Because sometimes when you sign too many players at once, you risk, for example, destroying the chemistry of what is being established before all those numbers come. Because let's face it, going into next year, you bring in the numbers, not everybody is going to start a game right away. And at that time, maybe you have some players that are favored by the coach, some are not. And then the squad start breaking down psychologically because some people are not happy. We've seen that on the Ten Hag, and we literally have to weed out some players that we consider prima donna, like Garnacho, Anthony, and what's his name, Rashford. So we don't want to go back that route. If you want to sign some players, we want it to be like a very major, very progressive, and in such a way that the board, the manager, and his teams kind of work together on that.
This is the Man City squad. So they've got Trafford, but Balotelli, and Donnarumma. This is what they have as midfielders. This is their midfielder roster. Reinders, Kokovic, Jerky, Nicolo Gonzalez, Rodri, Bernardo Silva, Mateus Nunes, O'Reilly, Foden. Defenders, they got Ruben. Even though, actually, what's his name? He plays as a right back now. The Mateus Nunes plays as he's a right back. But Ruben Diaz, who's been injured, John Stones, who's leaving, Ake, Gehi, El Nouri, Garbadal, he's injured. He's been injured for Kusanov, like I said. Max Eli and Rico Lewis. The forwards are here: Mamouche, Haaland, Doku, Savinio, and Semenyo. So these are the 5 attacking options that they have. This kid,
but I'll be honest.
So
I'll be honest. If you tell me Reinders will be on the bench, or Phil Foden will be on the bench for Turkey, I will not believe you. But then, hey, look at what's happening.
I think I've seen him when he's played well. But what Pep likes to do is when players are not on form, he takes them out completely, and then he'll bring them back in or bring them on. But I'm just looking at in terms of the squad. I think 3 goalkeepers. You can bring a young goalkeeper. You just need to have two decent goalkeepers. You need to have a good number 1 and a decent person who can do the job. So we're talking 3 there, right? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. These are youngsters. 12. Yeah. So I'm not including the youngsters. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Yeah. Rico Lewis, I'm including because he's been playing. And I'm not including these are the 2 youngsters. I'm not seeing them really play. So that's 19, yeah, with Rico Lewis, 20, 21, 22, 23, 25. I think what's needed.
We can say what we want, but we have 2 strikers, right? If you take Erling Haaland out of the City team, they don't even have a striker. So I'm not too sure. You can't have it all.
It's not about having it all. I'm just saying to you, what in terms of what the players that Manchester United have. I'm just trying to have a look now for Manchester United's squad, the current squad that we have right now. But I'll come back to it. Go ahead, Jarvis. You were going to say something.
Yeah, you are onto something now, Nuruddin, because now we're talking. How do we build a squad for Man United going forward? We are going in, as you said, playing a game every 3rd to 4th day in the next season, and you know, the amount of games will wear down players, and we have a number 10, an aging Bruno Fernandes, probably player of the season, the PFA player of the season for this season now, and 18 assists. You know, he's doing well when it comes to his stats. But who do we have as a backup for Bruno? You know, we don't have any backups. Mason Mount is the backup. When it comes to the left-hand side, we have Cunha. He's not the left winger. And we have Dorgu. Or is Dorgu the backup for the left back? I'm not quite sure. So something is off on our left-hand side. When it comes to our left back, we have Luke Shaw. And God only knows how he kept himself injury-free for this season. I won't expect it to happen next year when we play every third to fourth game. This guy will be injured at least 3 months and maybe more next season. It's his last season, so at least we won't see more of Luke Shaw after 2027. So we talk about signing 3 midfielders. That's okay, but we need at least 1 left back or maybe 2, because we know Luke Shaw is going. So if we bring in 1 in the summer, we probably need 1 more in January or maybe in the next summer. When it comes to the left winger, we have Cunha and Dorgu as the backup. I don't know, and also when it comes to the striker position, we have Sesko. So is Mbumo the rotation option? So Mbumo going to rotate from playing on the right hand side 1 game, and 3 days later he will play as a striker, and then go back on the right hand side 3 days after. So again, the rotation doesn't work. So how are we going to perform next season with a squad like this? 100%, we need 7 to 8 players in. We need to be serious for us, you know, because if Ineos only brings in, let's say, 3 to 4 players for Carrick, this project will fail spectacularly. I'm telling you, it will fail. Because we won't have the squad. And this is what Noureddin is talking about. It's not about being negative. It's about being realistic. If you go down and deep it, you would understand. And even looking at the centre-backs, we have Heaven and Euro, and we have Maguire, Martinez, and Delict. All of them injury-prone all the time. We can't trust them. And when they get injured, they're out at least 3 months and maybe 6. So again, you know, we have to trust a couple of young heads, you know, Heaven and Euro maybe. Or Masraoui rotating for being the right rotational fullback to playing centre-back the other game and then rotate to the right. It's not how it works. We need a strong squad. And this is where Ineos are failing. You know, they were calculating last season, bring in 4 players and we will be good. Because we will only play 1 game a week. But now next season we have Champions League. Let's be serious. Where are we going? We need to sign players. We need 3 midfielders. We need at least 1 left back, maybe 2. We need the left winger, hopefully a right back, and a backup striker. And I would prefer a centre back. And we know we need a backup goalkeeper because Bayindir is leaving. Maybe we can bring in another Vitek. Who knows? But you know, when I'm counting, let's say 3 midfielders, left back, right back, centre back, backup striker, and a goalkeeper. That's at least 5, 6, 7, 8. This is what we need to have a competitive squad. Yeah. So, we can talk about midfielders as much as we want, but a competitive squad means we have to sign 8 players.
Yeah, but why we keep talking about signing players?
One second, Luani. This is the team. So, obviously, Heaton is, but Bandia, I think, is leaving this summer. So, this is what we've got mainly. Lamins has been phenomenal, has been the best signing by an absolute mile. So, Mason Mount injury prone. We hardly ever see him. So, I'm taking him out. He hardly figures. Let's be real. But we can include him because he's played senior football. So Stanley Lamins, Bandia, I think Heaton should be ahead of Bandia, me personally. I trust more Heaton than I trust Bandia. So put it this way anyway. So we count 2 here, like we did for Man City. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, even though he doesn't play, 14, 15, 16, 17, right? 18, 19, 20, 21. That's what we've got. And 22, sorry, Benjamin Sesko. Diego Leon's not played either, really, for the first team, and I don't include all the youngsters like I did with Man City. Manchester United, I think, and I'll tell you who's going to go most likely. Bindia is going to go. Heaton most likely going to go. Malacia is definitely going. Leon probably going to be sent on loan. He needs a loan. That's what should happen to him, really. And then on this side here, Casemiro's definitely going. Ugarte apparently is going as well. So Mason Mount is unreliable, as we know, defense in terms of being fit. So at this moment in time, the only two midfielder we will have is Kobbie mainly, really. And then here you got Sirtsky will probably go. So we've got Cunha, Ahmad, Mbeumo, and Sesko. Obi needs a loan, but Shea Lacey, I expect him to break into the team next season. Out of all the youngsters, he's the one that I think
he can't be relied on. You know, he's
we can't rely on, but he can be somebody. Yes, Jarvis, but he is somebody that. Yeah, he is somebody who's got the readiness to be able to play at least 20 minutes off the bench here and there. Do you know what I mean?
Agree.
Yeah, he's somebody that can come big, but I don't think the Fletchers are ready.
But you know, that's we talk about this all the time, Nori, and that's not how you develop youngsters. You don't put the pressure on them right away. You know, he's not a player that we can rely upon. You know, we can bring him in when he's in form. When he's flying, then we bring him in, let him perform, and take him out again. Rest him. That's how you develop youngsters.
Yeah.
Look at Pep, as we talked about. Look how he developed. Let's say Oscar Bob, for example. We saw bits and pieces. He played one game in 10, but he played him when he was in form, and then he did well for City. He scored goals and stuff like that. That's how you bring out youngsters. That's how you develop a young player. You don't
like
put pressure
used to
on
do
them.
it. Fergie used to do it. United with a blueprint and how to develop youngsters, yes. And not overplaying them. Like we did with Kobbie and Garnacho. We overplayed them. We relied on them.
That's the issue with keeping a manager. When you have a manager like Carrick versus bringing in a manager like Iraola. If you bring in a manager like Iraola, you can entrust him with some young players and think of the academy as a way to complete the first team. You don't have to buy 7 players. You can just promote some players from the academy, give make the timeline a little longer. And I'm not saying diminishing the expectation, but you make the timeline a little longer, and a manager like Iraola will be able to give you an ascending curve while saving some money. But when you have a manager like Carrick, it's almost signifying that you want to win now, you want to compete now. Therefore, I'm not sure Carrick is going to rely too much on anybody or promote anybody from the academy to come in next year. I think you're going to have to bring in quality, and that's where the issue is going to be.
Yeah, but it is what it is. It is what it is. But the idea that Manchester United next season are going to be able to compete with all fronts with just 4 players added to the squad is laughable to me. It's laughable. So I'm saying to you, we could do a Newcastle next season.
It's concerning, yes.
The roller coaster. Yeah, it's not just numbers, but quality as well. Quality, balance of experience as well, and know-how, especially in midfield. The idea that we think we can sign, and everything they're briefing is thinking they only need 2 midfielders. So where are these other midfielders are going to come if we're going to play like 2? We need 4 midfielders if you're going to play. Because if those 2 are injured, then what happens? What are we going to do? I think Collier is going to go. I really think Collier is going to go at the end of the season. Yeah, I think he's going to go at the end of the season. Yeah. But people, we've been live for 2 hours and 17 minutes. Been an interesting debate. I think we're making a mistake with Michael Carrick. Me personally, I'm sick of Sentiment FC. After Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, I never wanted any so-called legend to come back to Manchester United to manage it. I really didn't. And And I was, you know what? Even after Amarin got sacked, I was like, well, let's see what Carrick's doing. And yes, we've got Champions League qualification, but we've had Champions League qualification. I just want to remind you all, Manchester United have had Champions League qualification. I think for the past 13 years, nearly 14 years, we've had it. This time will be 5th or 6th time we've had it. Where has it taken us? We've been in more Europa League team than we've ever been a Champions League team. And the furthest we've ever got to was the quarterfinals. In the last 16, yeah. Sorry, we won the game in the last 16 and we got beaten.
Was that Oli?
Oli at
Bayern?
Barcelona. But not Barcelona, no. That was David Moyes against Bayern and Oli against Barcelona. So at the end of the day, we show zero pedigree. Zero pedigree. And the big thing we also struggle when we're in Europa League, the Premier League takes a suffering because we then, all the coaches want to focus on winning the Europa League, and that Thursday, Sunday F's us up in terms of the games you play. You know, playing Thursday, then playing Sunday messes you up. I'll be going to the stadium next season because I just want to hear Champions League football, but that's it. I'm going for the vibes. But Manchester United, I'm not doing anything other than going for vibes in the Champions League. That's all we've been doing. But I respect Eski for realizing that maybe the only thing would be next season is to try to qualify back for the Champions League, and where other teams have not done in terms, especially, you know, Liverpool might make it, even though they won the league last season, but Newcastle are definitely nowhere to be seen.
Could you see us like down prioritizing other tournaments, Champions League, FA Cup, League Cup?
I think so. I think we need to look at it as a fan base and just realise that we're not going to win a trophy next year. We could try to come close and blag our way to something, but we shouldn't be short-sighted and think that a new interim manager who's very new at the job to come in and win something in this first full season. I think it's high. I think if we have a good run at the start of the season, people will get excited. People will get carried away. People this season started saying title charge when Michael Carrick come in and started winning a few games. I'm guilty of that. I'll admit I'm guilty of that because it was mathematically was still on. Look at Arsenal, everyone shut the bed. You know, we dropped some points here and there, and I think if it wasn't for Ruben Amorim being that bad, we will be a lot closer to Manchester City right now. But as I'm saying, yeah, I think we need to be realistic next season. Re-qualifying for the Champions League is our aim. If we do that and the squad looks better than it is now, so we have to compare the squad to that list that you brought out now. That's perfect. That list of players now that you just read out, minus the youngsters, compare that to the season. We'll have this conversation at the end of next season and compare it to that list of players. If it looks, you know, objectively better, if we can agree as a majority and say that, yeah, this team does look a lot better now. Can it go on to challenge things again? The year after that, get a bit closer, maybe try to win a couple or two, and then, like I'm always saying, then a proper manager comes in. An experienced manager, then he can try and win something with a better squad. So yeah, I think next season is just a squad building season. You know, keep on what we're doing now. Michael Carrick, just keep winning games, do what you can, and yeah, that's what we can do. Like I said, people say we're competing on all fronts. I think that term's a bit misleading because competing means you're going to try and win these trophies. I don't think we're going to win any trophy next season.
Yeah, no, I'm not expecting trophies. For me, the biggest thing, I'd rather have somebody lay down the foundation, actually.
That's what I think it is. I think it should be a foundation, yeah, for upcoming manager. That's what I'm saying.
For us to play good football, because if Carrick's Manchester United DNA, then we need to stay true to Manchester United DNA. And I would back next season, if Carrick's playing front foot attacking football, I will be coming back here every after the match, every game, and backing him, because that to me is non-negotiable. If you want to be Manchester United DNA, front foot attacking football, win, lose or draw, has to be the goal. Regardless, whatever squad that we have. For me, that's what I want. Because I know Manchester United with these owners are nowhere ever competing for Champions League or the Premier League title seriously. So when I go to the stadium, want to see attractive front foot attacking football, which is what Manchester United DNA is known for. If you don't believe me, go and look at Bobby Charlton, what Bobby Charlton says, and he's been involved in the club. He's part of the Trinity, you know, the three players who ever won. I think we're the only one of the clubs to ever have 3 Ballon d'Ors to play in the same team. Best Law, Charlton, and then go on to see what Matt Busby says about the entertainment factor of why Manchester United is so important, working class city, to play more than ever than Liverpool. Actually, Manchester United has more of a history of playing a responsibility to play attacking football than any other team that in English football because of our history. Go on, look at what the first coach who won us the league, what he says about playing. There's a way of playing, and that being the Manchester United DNA. He's the first guy, Magnet, whatever his name was, to win the league title for Manchester United. Always, there is a way of being, and the quotes are there. If you go on the talk, if you ever come here, Jarvis and Luani, and anybody else who doesn't live in the UK, and you take a Manchester United tour, you see the quote from all these managers, and people forget. People think that before Fergie came, we were playing shit football. Manchester United were still some of the great entertainers in what was the league back in the day, Division 1. We were the entertainers. We played with wingers, regardless, from the 1970s when we went down till we came back up, until we got to Fergie. And Ron Atkinson was. Manchester United were a cup team. We were known to be a cup team. We won a couple of FA Cups during that time, from the 70s till the 1980s. But we were entertainers. Nobody ever watched Manchester United thought, oh, this games are done. People flocked out to Old Trafford, and the away fans were still big. Even when we went down and got relegated, we actually got more fans coming and watching United when we went down because of the way we played. So when people tell me about, it's about results, I'm like, nah, I'm not asked about results. And maybe I'm in a privileged view that in my lifetime, I've grew up in Manchester. I've seen United lift every trophy there is possible to win, other than the UEFA Cup. The only trophy that Manchester United have not won in my lifetime is the UEFA Cup, and it doesn't exist. It's the Europa League, basically. But UEFA Cup, in my lifetime, because we were never qualified, because we were always winning leagues, so we got into the Champions League. That's the only trophy that I can remember thinking, we didn't win that, because we didn't finish second. I don't even remember if we ever played in the UEFA Cup. Maybe, I think I'm going to have to...
We did in the 90s a couple of times when we came in second.
We didn't win it. We didn't win it. So that's the only trophy for me in my lifetime that Manchester United have not won, was the UEFA Cup. But every other cup, whether domestic or in Europe, United have won it. So for me, playing the football, and I'm a massive believer, if you play front foot attacking football, which is the Manchester United DNA, I think you could win with that football. Then you can build a squad, and teams players would want to become. I think players who want that type of philosophy would want to come and play for Manchester United. Well, the conference is new. What somebody's saying? What about a conference? The conference is new. The conference is new. It's not.
Well, Norin, you do realize we have had the most shots on target this season by any team in the Premier League. Just a random stat, I know, but it tells you a little bit about our intention.
I mean, with Amorim, actually, the stats were the craziest, actually, with Amorim. And specifically with Amorim, we had the most shots, but this is the thing with that stat, the Americanization of European football, Jarvis, because it doesn't tell you what type of shot it is. It doesn't tell you, because I can shoot from 40 yards on the angle. It just registered a shot. And that's why these American stats that they use in American sports, it's very difficult to be able to translate them into European football. And people just go off that. Same thing with XG. XG, I think, is one of the most BS things ever invented. That's my opinion. It's only my opinion.
Yeah. I agree. I agree. I'm just putting it out there, just as a...
Oh, no, with Amorim, we're creating as much, but we're conceding as much as well. I guess that's what kind of even up the team. When it comes to Carrick...
Yeah, because he neglected the midfield. He played Bruno there. Yeah. And Bruno, how many goals did Bruno cost us when Amorim was here? I remember I counted 6 or 7 when people were running off him.
Yeah. When it comes to Carrick, I think that it's just... I don't think that... he's compatible with our ambitions as fans, for especially we fans who want some kind of sustainability. I think he's more compatible with the ambition of the owners, because they want to make the club as profitable as possible. But by doing that, they want to keep keep us in the Champions League, and try to come back something along the way. So in order to achieve that, I just think that they need to back him up. They need to help him, or he's not going to be able to outcoach anybody in the league. That for sure. There are more competent coaches than him in the league. Even though he earned the time to learn his craft, I just don't think that he's caught from that. He'll be able to achieve that sustainability. You talk right now, no, then you talk about the concept of holding it together, like being able to build something, a foundation. That's the word you use. I don't think Carrick can build a foundation. I think that he have a chemistry that's going on with the players, and he can use that to his advantage when we add quality to achieve something. That's about it.
Last comments from all you lot, guys. It's been a brilliant show. Big up.
Yeah. Last comment I'm going to get off is late. Yeah. Look, big up everyone. I can look at it and say, look, Champions League here. Buy some players and see what's going on next season, man. I'm looking at it from the side where we've achieved our goals this season. Is it where we want to be? Ultimately, no. But it's baby steps. You know, you don't just leap out of nowhere. And Antonio Conte doesn't come in and you just win the league. Mourinho doesn't come in and win it back to back. Like, those things are just like myths, man. So yeah, realistically now, just look at it, see who we get in the summer. I think who we let go and money that we're going to recruit is the most important factor in all this. Even though we're going to get Champions League money, we're still paying off for signings that don't even play for us anymore. Even paying for managers and coaching staffs and fucking is it Dan Ashworth from Newcastle? We're paying off for staff that we've just let go as well that we've tried to acquire and didn't work out in a year. So like I said, see what the expenditures are saying. Carrick most likely in my heart of hearts will get the job. I do want him to get the job. And then just see where we're going from there. But yeah, peace and love all. I'm about.
Yeah, big up Esky. Big up.
Safe guys, space.
Big up, Eskim.
Yeah, Jarvis, last word from you.
Yeah, while you guys were talking, I just watched the highlights from the Chelsea game, and Baleba, he did quite well. He's very good. So, you know, I've been thinking, you know, what type of midfielders I would want. I would want a destroyer like Baleba, but you know, he needs to up his game. I like a energetic midfielder who can fight all the time and want the ball. And I like what we've seen lately. We've been linked to Alex Scott, the Bournemouth player, and I rate him highly. And if we have the money to go for a third one, Mateus Fernandes, for me, if West Ham goes down, I think he would be a very good signing. He'd also play as a number 10 when Bruno Fernandes needs to be rested. So if we go into this summer and sign Baleba, Alex Scott, and Mateus Fernandes, I would actually be happy. I think that's a good summer transfer window when it comes to midfield. I don't know
What
when
did
it
you
comes
say,
to
Jarvis? You said Alex Scott and Fernandes.
Baleba, Alex Scott, and Mateus Fernandes, the West Ham midfielder. He's like an 8 or 10 hybrid. Scott is a pure number 8, and Baleba is a number 6. I think that will be a good summer transfer window.
Interesting. Go ahead, Luani.
That's all for me. Just a big question for the board. Are we rebuilding, or we just come back in? So if we're rebuilding, then you have to bring in Iraola. Don't let him go back to Spain. If we come back in, then you can keep Carrick, but you have to back him. That's all.
Yeah.
For me, I will be on this channel apologizing to Michael Carrick. I'll be apologizing to Michael Carrick if he gets any tune out of these players with only 4 players next season. I actually would take that midfield right now if he offered it to me. Fernandes, Scott, and Baleba. But I would also take Baleba, Anderson, and Tonali. I'll be greedy. And I think that would make us level up that midfield. But yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see what happens next season. But we'll be here. One thing is sure, unless they shut this channel down, we'll be here. Big up on love. We had a really amazing show last night. People, please make sure you go and check out the Tactical Devils channel. Yeah, very interesting about Tchouameni, more detail. Had a debate about all sorts of things. So yeah, best Monday night.
PGMOL, referee decisions.
Yeah, all of things. It. We questioned all of it. So make sure you check it out. Tactical Devils. Make sure you check out Jarvis at Bowley, BOLE77. Make sure you check out Luwani, Manuel Luwani 1979 on X, United Trucker. Ben was here. Make sure you check Ben out, Elmo39 on X and Elmo20 on TikTok and Twitch. He's a gamer, so if you're into gaming, definitely check him out on there. And big up to Eski. You won't see Eski anywhere else. You only see him on here. Big up on love, people. We'll be back tomorrow night with whatever breaking news there is after the Premier League games. There are some interesting Premier League games actually tomorrow. City play Burnley, don't they? Bournemouth, Leeds, that'll be an interesting game. Man City, Leeds. That's the next fixtures. And then Friday, Sunderland, Nottingham Forest. And then we play on Monday again, another effing Monday night.
What the hell is going on?
Yeah, we play on Monday. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah. We play Newcastle. Wow, that's going to be... I think in terms of the league title, Arsenal have to beat Newcastle on Saturday. If they don't beat them, the league's gone. Simple as that.
Yeah, but City will be top of the league tomorrow if they win.
Yeah. So, I big up everybody. I want to big up Matisse. I want to big up Saeed. I want to big up Rant and everybody else who redirected. And yeah, big up to all those guys. Big up. I appreciate them. Unfortunately, we've not made our target. Our target was to get 200 likes. Like I said, at one point we had 1,200 people in here. I think the most we've ever had here is 1,500. With 30 likes away from 200, we are 170 likes. And the poll, in terms of who do we want Nanglesman? Oh, it's changed. Do we want Nanglesman? 54% said yes, 46%, 55% have said yes, 45% have said no. It's in a margin of 10. And for a long time, though, it was 52 to 48 no.
Nah, no bueno way.
But anyway, love and light, people. It's been a great show. Take care. Love, light.
Take care. Goodbye.